imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, then our next guest is the nicest man in the world. He's taking on the role of Thomas Tuchel in his new podcast, How to Win the World Cup, which continues weekly on Thursdays. So all aboard for a chat with whom we're never bored. It's Matt Forde!
It is very intense.
Yes.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
I mean, it wakes you up, doesn't it?
It does wake you up,
Boy.
Yeah. So sitting on that chair on Friday was Chris Hemsworth.
Oh, my God.
Can you feel the heat still?
I can, yeah, it's very warm. Yeah,
and you
yeah.
have the right bottom to feel the heat, don't
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Matt is on the show to talk about so many things, particularly how to win the World Cup. This is a brand new podcast. It's a TalkSport podcast, and it is brilliant, mate.
Oh, thank you very much.
It's so good. It's so good. The various chapters, it's been going since just before Christmas. So squad announcement was episode 1. And then we went to World Cup Love Affair, Home Advantage, which is an amazing episode. Is it all that? Answer, yes, it is. It was the Christmas before the World Cup. That was just before Christmas. And Goal Scorers is the recent one. Managing Expectations, also good. We're doing that every morning on this show. Mavericks is my favourite, actually. Mentality is good. And the latest episode is Goalkeepers. Great idea. When did you give birth to this little belter?
Well, about a couple of months ago. Because I'm a football obsessive.
Of course you are.
And I'm an idiot.
You cry at football all the
cry
time.
all the time.
There's a crying episode on there, on my iPhone 7.
But I cry when we win. I'm like...
Yeah.
I get so emotionally invested in England.
Uh-huh.
I always believe we're going to win it.
Yeah.
So then, how do we win it?
Yeah.
And, you know, I've done sports podcasts before, but breaking it down into all the different constituent parts, I thought was something really
Which is amazing. It's amazing. And you have a co-host and you have a guest star. Tell us about those guys.
So we've got Emmanuel Petit. He's brilliant.
He's so good.
Charismatic.
He's so
and
giving.
French and philosophical. And
yeah, and honest and candid.
We've got Kleberson. We're doing some episodes with Stuart Pearce today.
When you say we, who do you mean?
Myself and Alex Brooker.
Yeah, Alex Brooker.
He's also involved. Very funny man. Good friend of mine.
Sports fan.
And Stuart Pearce, we're doing penalties.
Yeah.
And it appears, it's like Psycho is, for my generation and for me as a Forest fan,
yeah.
He was like my idol growing up. So, you know, talking to him about penalties, Chris, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
At the end of the day, you know, you've got to try and score them, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Very good.
That's my, you know, I think
good.
you've got to try and score them, you know, that's my approach to him, you know what I mean? He's got a lovely way of talking. He invents his own words, Pearce. You know, it's not the most glamourable of games, you know what I mean? And you're like, well, I sort of know what that means.
Yeah.
You've invented it, but I know what you mean.
That's what Shakespeare did. He invented all the words. You know, you can't have it all, can he? Emmanuel Petit's great. So Emmanuel Petit pops up quite a lot. There's a great episode on mentality, isn't there? Tell us about Emmanuel Petit and mentality.
Well, he was part of the France 98 team that win a home tournament, and the pressure on them was overwhelming.
Yeah.
But it's fascinating talking to people like him because I think we judge footballers quite a lot, and then you realise, you talk to them, some of them are immensely clever, and he is very spiritual and very deep. I mean, he's the sort of man, I think he's like even more of a man. I feel like a child when I talk to him.
Really?
I think you are so masculine that you can even have long hair and still be really manly.
Well, hang on, Chris Hemsworth, Thor.
Well, yeah, exactly.
You know,
Maybe I've been getting it all wrong. Maybe I need to grow mine out.
Yeah, I will. I wish I had the option. But anyway. Well, you say he's not an alpha male, is he? Because he's got this other thing going on, this other side. He's like the male and the female together almost, isn't he? That's the thing.
He's the best of both.
Oh, my gosh. And he really is the best of both.
Like Kingsmill.
He talks about Zidane, doesn't he?
Oh, man.
Tell us the difference between how French fans responded to Zidane being sent off in a World Cup, as opposed to the way we shamefully responded. By the way, we were all guilty for it.
Oh, man.
When Beckham was sent off.
Well, the French adore Zidane, and they totally understood it.
Well, we adored Beckham.
I know, but we're different here, aren't we?
Yeah, so he explains the difference, though, doesn't he?
Yeah, they were far more understanding and like...
Because they love him.
Yeah, whereas we were... And again, you're right.
We were rubbish.
I watched that Beckham documentary back. I was like, I used to boo him.
Yeah, we all did at the time, you know. And he has forgiven us all for it, which makes us feel even worse.
And he's there just going, you know, it was a very difficult time for me in Victoria, but you know, you get through it. You're like, oh God. I mean, I was only, but it would have been like 14 or 15.
Yeah.
But I'd have booed him at the time.
But it's the thing about Zidane. Zidane was sent off against Saudi, was it?
He's sent off in the final against Italy.
Against Italy.
Headbutts the guy.
Of course he was. Sorry, of course he was.
It's incredible.
And he was sent off 10 times in his career. And the point about him is he's, again, a very philosophical guy, but wears his heart on his sleeve. And that's, you have to go there sometimes and get sent off. But you have to look at what he gives you on the days that he delivers, not just on the days where he reaches boiling point and can't help himself.
Yeah, and some players play on the edge.
Yeah.
And you need a bit of like...
you want them on the edge.
Oh, man, you watch games sometimes and you think, where is like the passion and where is that person who's going to dominate a game? Mm-hmm. So you do need that, but obviously the price you pay for that is sometimes people will get headbutted.
Yeah.
And that's bad.
No, that is bad.
I think this is an anti-headbutting show.
I would say so.
I feel like I'm preaching to the choir.
Yeah, if any goats are watching, they do that. That's what they do. So.
Well, Ronaldo is the goat.
Yeah, of course he is the goat. Absolutely, 100%. And Emmanuel Petit also talks about, the home advantage and the pressure. And this is a great... We're talking, by the way, if you just tune in, we're talking about Matt Forde's... This is Matt Forde. We're talking about his brand new podcast, a TalkSport podcast called How to Win the World Cup in a World Cup year, of course. And if we do win the World Cup, if England win the World Cup, that is, it'll be down to Matt.
That's a really good point. Because I'm doing the work.
That's why you were doing it.
Yeah, well, I didn't realise I was like having an impact beyond entertainment.
Emmanuel Petit alludes to the fact on your podcast that some past players and managers have felt under so much stress in the semi-finals of the World Cup, thinking about what if we get to the final and lose, they were relieved that they lost in the semi-final. That's incredible.
As a fan, I just don't understand that at all. You're like, surely you would want to get as far as possible.
Yeah.
But equally, you can sort of see why. I think it is different for those that are involved in it. Mm-hmm. The pressure. Taking a penalty for England must be almost one of the worst things you could ask another human being to do. Do you know what I mean? Like
in football, he terms.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
not in real. Well, it is real life, I suppose, isn't it?
What would make you want to do that?
And then, but of course, if a footballer, and this is where we, again, as fans, we are wrong. If a footballer gets to play for their national side, look, it might not seem like they're turning up all the time, but it's usually at the end of a pretty heavy season. If they're a good player, they've played loads of matches anyway. They may look tired. They may play well in the earlier rounds. In the sort of before the knockout stages kick in, literally, or kick off. But again, the whole point about a player being in a national team is if they do win the World Cup, it's the greatest thing that ever happens to them.
Man, it's the greatest thing that happens to us. Can you imagine the party we'll have if England ever win anything?
But again,
can you imagine? Like
England men's.
Of course,
yeah.
And I was there for the Lionesses when they first won it, and it was phenomenal.
Yeah, okay. The women are leading the charge here.
And they've done it twice.
We need to play catch up. But again, he says, doesn't he?
Man.
Emmanuel says that out of everything he's done, if you win the World Cup, it changes your life forever in a different way to winning the European Champions League or the Premier League or whatever.
It's the pinnacle of human civilization.
Yeah.
It is more than going to space. Don't you think? Like winning the World Cup, who would you rather meet? Neil Armstrong?
Yeah, or a passenger.
Yeah, or a squad member.
Yeah.
I think anyone who's touched the World Cup has won it.
And he also says, doesn't he, that because your home nation, people who don't watch football watch the World Cup, and then you become more famous than you've ever become.
Well, that's it.
And for the rest of your life, you're getting tables in restaurants, people are buying you drinks for the rest of your life.
And because you're doing it for us, is the thing. It's an extension of your national identity, isn't it? That's why it's such an emotional thing. You're doing it for England, for Scotland, for France, for whatever. It's like it's your people.
Yeah.
It's more than just sport. It crosses over to pride and like, oh God, this when I start getting wobbly.
Don't worry.
Something about Churchill and Spitfires.
Yeah, okay.
It's too much.
All that thought. What are the rules about touching the World Cup?
Oh yeah, you're only allowed to touch it if you've won it, and he has like security that accompany him whenever he goes somewhere.
Right.
If you're travelling with the World Cup, only winners are allowed to touch it.
So let's talk about Becks again. So if David Beckham is in the same room doing a sports thing for some company or whatever with Emmanuel Petit, David Beckham can't touch the World Cup.
A criminal offence.
No way.
I don't know. Another reason to hate David Beckham. The last thing he needs is another hate.
You talk about resilience with Alex and with Emmanuel Petit, and then you before you actually get into the football side of that, you and Alex talk about your resilience, but the both of you, because you've both got dogs in that race.
Yes.
And you talk about, and it's really touching. You talk about when Alex, your co-host, came to see you in hospital, and you said it was a game-changing visit. So for people who don't know the story, can you give us the headlines of the story, please?
Yeah, I had spinal cancer a couple of years ago, and I had the base of my spine removed and was in hospital for 10 weeks, and it was big, painful traumatic surgery, and I was very lucky that I had lots of people come and visit me. And Alex, I knew Alex years ago. I wrote for him on The Last Leg, so he's an old friend. And the biggest compliment I can pay him is I would sort of forget that he was disabled. I think he's just got such a great approach to life that you would just sort of forget that he'd had to overcome these physical impairments. And he came along, and I was having to come to terms with having a colostomy bag and the changes to my body and pain. And he was just explaining that his life has been a constant frustration that his body will not do what it wants it to do, and you have to come to terms with that. And it was just, I really understood his mindset and his personality in that moment, because I'd always found him, and I love him, but he's a forthright chap, he's quite bloody-minded. I always appreciated that about him, and I understood the roots of it. And I understood that despite, all his success and everything, there are still things about his own body that would drive him mad, but you still have to get on with your day. And I just thought, of all the people to be giving me this lesson, it just means more when it comes from a place of experience. And it stayed with me, it still stays with me, just the stuff he's had to overcome, and he's done it with such grace.
Because he came to see you loads, didn't he? But that particular visit was a tipping point.
And it was sometimes you need to be in the mindset where you want to hear the message.
Yeah.
And it needs to come from someone, I think.
Yeah.
That has.
It's almost more about the messenger than the message.
It is, yeah. And I was in the pits of despair. I was really struggling with pain, and I was really worried about my future. I was in a level of pain that I actually can't believe. I can't believe I didn't black out, and it was getting so bad that they were going to put me back in intensive care. And I was really worried that the pain was never going to come down, and what the rest of my life was going to be like. And him coming in and kind of giving me that pep talk was just unbelievable. It was. I think about all the stuff he had to go through as a kid.
Yeah.
He's had to deal with this from birth.
So now you're best friends forever.
Best friends forever,
and you celebrate by doing a podcast about football.
Exactly, yeah. What better way?
Now, you have let slip on the podcast. I don't know if you intended it or not. You do have a bit of a memorabilia collection.
Oh, man.
And so you, in moments of weakness, you buy things.
eBay.
So what do you have that you want to talk about from the football world?
I mean, I've got tons of old ticket stuff. So what I do, I've always collected football programmes.
Right.
And I've always tried to get them autographed on the day, and I still do this. Mm-hmm. I also then, during lockdown, bought ticket stubs from all major Forest games before my time, the European Cup finals, and any programmes that I didn't have. So I also, and this is so sad.
What's funny is that people are keeping them, putting them up for sale, and people are buying them. That's all mad, isn't it?
Well, that's mad. I then started buying Prime Ministers' autographs.
Right.
Now, I don't know if these are... I bought them on eBay. They got... Disraeli, Gladstone, Walpole, who was the first. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've basically got all of them. I've got Attlee, Wilson, Heath, Thatcher.
Yeah.
I've basically got all of them apart from, Churchill. Churchill cost a fortune.
Truss?
I haven't got Truss yet. But that happened so quickly. But I will try and get it. I've got Boris Johnson's. I'm trying to get
so quickly. I love it.
I know, but I know it's sad, but then I'm like, once you start collecting something...
Yeah, I wanted to stick to football, but it's okay, we've slipped into
I know, it's so sad.
Fine.
But Prime Ministers, and then Alf Ramsey, 66.
Yeah.
Because you think, man, selfies for me don't do it. I don't really want a picture. It's cool to have a picture with someone, but the idea that a historical figure has touched that, that has left their mark.
It's a bit like art, isn't it?
But we're amongst it here. You understand the value of it.
That's why we do it. That's why we do it. You please sign it in a moment or two. That'd be great. As far as the World Cup is concerned, do you know what date it starts? Do you know the opening match?
Oh, God. It's June sometime.
I looked it up last night because I thought, I've got to get this sorted out. It's over before you know it, the World Cup, isn't it? That's
it goes so fast.
I like the way they do it. It's so cool, isn't it? And it's North America, and it's Canada, and it's South America as well.
Yes, Mexico, Canada, America.
Okay, and in America, we have games in New York. We go to LA. Are we Texasing, or do we know where we're going with it? Or you need to sort, because you're the guy. How to win the World Cup? Know where to turn up for the matches. For a start, that would be handy. Are you going to go?
I don't know. Right. I mean, if we get to the final.
If you get the final, no.
How do you not? Yeah.
Semi-final, fine. No, can't. I wouldn't be able to bear the final.
Oh, you'd go, wouldn't you?
Of course you would. If you got the tickets, you would. Yeah. Now, of course, you're on tour as well. Not of course, but you are on tour as well. Defying Calamity continues this Thursday, 5th of Feb, at Lancaster's Grand Theatre until Wednesday, the 10th of June, at Chipping Norton, the theatre there. So this is a tour. How's it going?
Brilliant.
What happens in the tour? Are you still funny? Are you still great?
I think so. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, it feels like I am. Okay, people are laughing, so they agree.
What's happening?
So it's an hour and a half of impressions,
Yeah.
topical stuff about Trump, Starmer,
Yeah.
and bit of football and a bit of personal stuff about, my body,
Yeah.
the tragedy that I bravely survived.
Now this is, we're in a TFI situation.
This is
here.
so cool.
This is it's a soft launch. So we set this up to see if it worked. This will all move over to here over the Easter holidays. We'll get rid of the desk. We'll put in a stage and we'll put in a music section over there because this has worked. So
great.
welcome, and I wish you'd have been around back in the day doing what you're doing. Obviously you watched it because we talked about it before.
I was obsessed with it.
Who did you enjoy being on that side of the desk most? Cue the impressions.
Well, the Noel Gallagher episode where you go to his house.
Yeah, that's in my flat.
Oh, that was so. It was your house.
Yeah, it was my flat.
Oh,
yeah,
I thought it was his house.
Yeah, that's the same episode where I woke up in bed with Robert Smith from The Cure. True story, and it's all on camera.
Man.
Yeah.
But watching him, in his prime, and you're there in the 90s, right? I mean, I ask you know what I mean? I remember doing it, right? And he always puts stuff in like societal context. The reason why TFI was so big, right? Because that was the last big, evening show, right? Before Wi-Fi. And you go, I don't know if that... I mean, both things are true, but why has that got anything to do with Wi-Fi?
He's good at that, isn't he?
Really good.
And nobody questioned him because he's Noel Gallagher.
Yeah, you're like, it's just so wise.
Yeah, and if they say something about him, he doesn't like, he just write a song about them and sing it to like 10 million people on the next tour.
Yeah.
So that's all gonna... Who else?
I remember Coogan. Because I was obsessed with Partridge. He came in, I remember, in a black leather jacket. Yeah. I think it was the first time I'd ever heard the word megalomaniac. I think he called you a megalomaniac. I remember that. McCartney
And he was right.
McCartney must have been on.
McCartney was on, yeah.
Yeah, because he's like, I never used to do him, but the older ones. I like the way he's sort of gone, the dryness at the back of the throat, I came on, with Chris. I loved it. He's got that kind of...
You could slip into Bill Clinton there quite easily, couldn't you?
Yeah, I guess so. I've never done Clinton, yeah, you could.
You've never done Bill Clinton?
Did you ever have Blair on?
No, I don't think we didn't have Blair on that. Blair was on the Brits. He came on the Brits.
That's right. And I remember it, actually. I mean, TFI Friday, by the way, was a huge hit, and we watched it all the time. And it wasn't just about TFI. It was also The Big Breakfast. It was that sort of multi format. I think you were the first person to do that, and it was. I think it meant a lot to the country, Chris, and you deserve great credit for it.
Well, thank you, Prime Minister.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. Who goes down best when you do your recreations on stage?
Trump's just like...
Really?
People just want an hour and a half of Trump.
Well, they either do or they don't. I mean, when they sign up to come to you, obviously they do. But if we even say the word, we just don't. What are you mentioning him for? Because it's just
just such a big... In a way, I have to take my personal feelings out of it.
Yeah.
He's just such a dominant... comedic character.
Yeah.
It's great to be here on FBI Friday. Everybody loved it. And it was the best. You used to hunt people down. You'd find them. It was great. And it was probably the best crime show we've ever seen.
Thank you.
And then the big breakfast where they get their final meal before being on death row. It was groundbreaking.
Yeah.
We loved it. You got to bring it back. And
God.
Craig, it's great to see you again.
Thank you very much. Yeah, good, excellent. Wow, so funny. Now, I've been through the chapters on your amazing podcast, How to Win the World Cup. They're the ones that are out now.
And it sounds like you've actually listened to it.
Oh, I love it.
Which is really, you usually do interviews to promote things. You don't expect people to have done that.
I always do. I call it respect the guest. Because it makes because
respect.
you now pick up on that, don't you? And you get it.
Makes a huge difference.
Yeah, Kiara Setter said the same thing last week. Chris Hemsworth said the same thing. You got to do it. I mean, so many people don't. You can see it on their faces. You can see like certain hosts on certain shows who are interviewing A-listers, and you can see the fear not in the A-listers' eyes, but in the host eyes, because they haven't really thought of any questions.
But I'm not an A-lister, so you don't have to listen.
No,
to
but
the
you
podcast.
bring them with you.
That's true. Exactly. Yeah, I can impersonate.
We get like 20 for the price of one, which is why you're one of our favourite guests, and we love you. What's coming up on the podcast? What are the? Because I love this could not work, this podcast, but it's so brilliant because of the categories you've chosen for each episode.
Also can go anywhere.
Yeah. So goalkeepers this week.
Goalkeepers, penalties, leadership with Stuart Pearce.
Yes.
And then obviously there's all sorts of other things that you could actually get quite detailed and nerdy about it, which I'm really keen to do. Ages of the side. What does weight or height make any difference? Is there any interesting data out there that would suggest a kind of thing that you could do? Do you need like a big midfielder or...
Give us a minute on the home advantage factor.
I mean, it's kind of obvious, but like you see it in the Premier League, you see it with your your sort of domestic teams.
And the reason that London teams don't win so often, or win the Premiership so often, is because there's too many derbies.
Yeah.
And what does explain that? If you
So
don't
then derbies basically eliminate any sort of home advantage because of pressure.
and the proximity to the fans and
Yeah, and I also think actually that home advantage. I don't know if you go to some Premier League football matches now, and one of the great things about the Premier League is the atmosphere is very different to how football was when you and I were growing up, when the terraces were terrible places to be, and it was repellent for a lot of people. Now it's become a respectable thing to do. You go and see Phantom of the Opera, you go and watch Arsenal or whatever. I think that has slightly eliminated some of the atmosphere, and I wonder if actually that will have a long-term impact on, compared to teams like Forest, that still feels very local.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel like the fan base has been internationalised in the same way that some of the big London teams have.
it's all very scientific.
That actually it creates more of a cauldron atmosphere.
Yeah.
Which obviously is part of the product, that's what you want. But then the more people that come from outside, they dilute it.
Yeah. No, I mean, in America, but America's different, isn't it? Because America's like obviously so much bigger, and a lot of stadiums, whether it's whichever sport it may be, NFL or NBA or whatever, they don't sort of really allow any kind of away fans, or it's too far to go,
that's it, yeah.
and it's too sanitised, and therefore it's more sanitised, so it's commercially more friendly actually, which is why they do it, and also they make the games longer, to stop flashpoints. That's why they do it.
Do you know what? Me and John Richardson go to New York every 3 years, and we'll go and watch like a game of sport or whatever.
That's nice.
It's just like a little treat to ourselves. We're going again in December.
Every 3 years.
Yeah, we go
not
like
two, not one.
Well, on average, we've been it just
every
works out.
3 years.
That's our promise.
Come rain or shine.
Yeah. We go in December, and we'll go and watch like ice hockey or whatever. And compared to watching English sport, where it's just 2 halves of 45 minutes, no mucking about.
Yeah.
You go there and they stop after 5 minutes, T-shirt cannons, then a band comes out.
It's all day.
But it drives you mad. You're like, I have paid to watch something I'm not getting. Why is this being withheld from me?
I love the fact you're taking your sort of British fan rage over there and going, I'm still mad.
Oh, yeah. Get on with it.
But look, we're having a really good time. That's not the point. That's not why I come to football. That's not why I cry when we win.
I come in to moan.
Yeah, because there's that sing when we're winning. You only sing when you're winning. You cry when you're winning.
Oh, God. With England, I just find
What's the most you've cried?
When we beat Germany 2-0. Well, when we've lost on penalties, when Pear missed in 1990, that was like the first thing that
But that's a loss. You often cry.
Yeah, when we beat Germany in the Euro 2020, when we beat Germany, I was at Wembley, and it was just, that felt like a moment. You're like, we're beating Germany in a knockout game. Kane had scored, Sterling had scored, and you just felt like it really felt like it was
like
going
a cloud
like anything was possible.
And
it just felt so positive, and obviously coming out of COVID and everything. And I just love England, and I sort of feel like it's easy to be down on England. As a country, we have a really complicated relationship with us, even compared to the Scots and the Welsh. Like, it's just more acceptable to be patriotic there.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because again, back to Emmanuel Petit, he was one of the greatest guests you could ever have on, and he pops up a lot. He's so cool on this podcast. I mean, you sort of fall in love with him, don't you? It's like he's such a...
And he's good looking as well.
Fantastic human being. He's good looking. But he's got this, like, he lives his life by the moon. He's got a lot of spirituality going on. He did that amazing thing, where he predicted who France would meet in the final of a home World Cup and the score they would beat them by. He predicted it 10 years before it happened, and he played in the game that it happened in.
He had a premonition. He had a premonition 10 years before, and then during the game he's telling his teammates, he's like, I have seen this, we will win. I mean, they must have thought he was mad.
Yeah,
he was right.
And it was he predicted 2-0, didn't he?
Yeah.
He predicted 2-0 against Brazil at home in France, and France would win the final of the World Cup. And he was playing in the match, and with 3 minutes to go, he says to Frank Leboeuf, Frank, my premonition, my dream is coming true. And Frank Leboeuf says, forget that. We've got 3 minutes still to go.
You got Mark Ronaldo.
Oh, you got Mark Ronaldo.
Banging on about your dreams.
No, but my dream. It's great, man.
Funny.
It's a good podcast.
He is a phenomenal individual.
Yeah, but he came because you're there. You and Alex are there. And people come and see you because they love you. So well done. Well, Congratulations, Matt Forde.
They're also paid.
Are they? Okay, fair enough. It doesn't do any harm, but they're worth it.
I think so.
Because he's
worth it.
Matt Forde, How to Win the World Cup. It's the podcast. How to Win the World Cup. New episodes every Thursday. And Matt's tour continues. Defying Calamity continues this Thursday, 5th of Feb at Lancaster's Grand Theatre until Wednesday, the 10th of June at Chipping Norton Theatre. Thank you to Matt Forde.
We fell in love, actually, with our next guest over 20 years ago, and he's been nothing but brilliant on our screens ever since. He's starring in the second series of The Artful Dodger, which is out next Tuesday. So consider yourself lucky that we're chatting to an original gangster. It's Thomas Brodie-Sangster!
It is very enthusiastic, isn't it? Yeah, have a cup of tea, make yourself at home. Here we go. So, primarily, Thomas is on to talk about The Artful Dodger Season 2. For people... I know. There it is. Wow. David Thewlis, by the way. How good?
Oh, David's wonderful.
I know. So, for people who aren't at the party yet, can you just frame it for them if you don't mind?
It's Dickens Down Under. It's great fun. It's a fun romp. It's the character of Artful Dodger, but he's in Australia and he's taken up surgery and he's struggling with trying to move on from his criminal past and put that behind him, but it keeps kind of pulling him back in the form of Mr. Thewlis.
So this is the unofficial sequel to Oliver.
Yeah.
I mean, the Artful Dodger's in it, Fagan's in it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I mean, it is that. In season 1, we do have a little bit. Oliver does actually come into the show.
Yeah, and Dickens isn't going to sue anytime soon, so we're okay here. How does Dodger end up in Australia?
Well, I mean, they don't actually tell it in the show, but he apparently joins the Navy and ends up fighting the Crimean War, and then finds his way, learns his skills as a surgeon on board Navy vessels, and then finds his way to Australia through the Navy, gets off and makes a living out of being a surgeon.
And this is all in Dickensian times, because it's in period, isn't it?
Yeah, it's in period. Yeah.
1850, 1860 kind of thing.
Yeah. I know you had a lot of Irish, a lot of British making their way over to Australia.
Yeah, exactly. For various different reasons, some nefarious, some not so nefarious. So he's become a surgeon. So if one of us fell ill now, from the script, how qualified?
Oh, you'd be fine.
You'd be fine?
Yeah, I'd sort you right out.
All right.
No problem.
Okay, so, I mean, he's not just become a surgeon, he's like a genius, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a whiz kid surgeon, yeah. I mean, the surgery back then is absolutely brutal, so it was more about being quick and efficient because there was no pain relief. Your patients would be writhing around in pain and being held down, and you had a bit between your mouth and maybe some alcohol.
Yeah.
So it was about being really quick with a knife. And we had some flamboyantness, and I channel more of a kind of mad conductor of an orchestra than I do a real surgeon. But it's good fun.
It's good fun. I mean, you've been on the fun side of it. I watched episode 1 of season 2 yesterday, and it was like, for me, it started to get quite technical and quite sort of groundbreaking, and blood transfusions and things like that.
Well, I mean, it is all based on real accounts.
Because this all had to happen for the first time. Once,
yeah. We pushed the date slightly. I think one of the surgeries technically happened for the first time in the 20s. But other than that, I mean, it's loose in terms of being accurate. But they are cases that did exist.
Yeah, well, you're dramatising it, aren't you? That's the whole point. Because, somebody... when you first... there's an injection, isn't there? There's a vaccine, because somebody once had to think. If you think about the whole concept of a vaccine, in the 1850s, somebody figured out that, or took a chance on the fact that if you add a little bit of poison to somebody's blood,
we'll give you a little bit,
it'll put off, the illness if you became completely toxic via whatever the soupçon poison is or was. Now, that is de rigueur nowadays, but somebody had to do it once. And where did that idea come from? Have you read up on it about it?
I don't know where that came from. Someone actually thinking about things, I suppose. Because, I mean, before that, there was a bit mad ideas like, leeches and bloodletting and trepanning and all sorts of crazy things.
And not just injecting it into the arm, but you have to inject it into a vein. And the syringes were massive. They were like bicycle pumps, weren't they? And you go around brandishing these.
Yeah. Well, you couldn't machine a super fine needle.
So did you go back and watch things and read books?
I mean, a little bit. Like I said, it is quite high. Our needles, I think, are particularly big, but...
And the whole blood transfusion thing, which, I don't... No spoilers, but it does feature.
We saw illustrations of how they would used to do it, and it was literally through a funnel, and the surgeon would then just shoot his blood.
Unbelievable.
They'd use pig's blood sometimes as well.
Yeah, so we have a cannula now, don't we? We get all squeamish about a cannula. This was like the size of a sort of cannon barrel, wasn't it? This tube.
And they didn't know about blood types either, so you just kind of hoped.
Yeah.
and then infection as well. I mean,
Yeah.
infection killed more than surgery.
And the operating theatres are still called operating theatres because they were actual.
Theatres, yeah.
People could pay
and go and watch surgery, which is
Yeah, and
so macabre.
and this is features in the show. This is the theatre.
Yeah.
all the time.
And it's rowdy, and you could bring drinks in there and snacks.
It was entertainment, wasn't it? It was Netflix.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
It was. Oh, Disney Plus.
No, it's Disney. Yeah.
But what am I saying here? But you know what I mean. There's plenty of room at the top and all that kind of stuff. And often, as your character does, as Dodger does, who's now a surgeon in Australia as opposed to a tea leaf in London, a teenage tea leaf in London, they had to sort of practice on themselves, didn't they? So your character...
Yeah, be like a tattoo artist.
Yeah, so your character gives a blood transfusion himself whilst also overseeing the procedure to the patient.
Yeah, he's the best.
Yeah, he's the best, man. Minus the cape. And his girlfriend. Tell us about Dodger's girlfriend.
Dodger's girl. We're at the opposite end of society, really. So I'm a kind of, you said, like a street urchin, really.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to work my way up, but do slightly resent both ends of the spectrum, the class. And she's the daughter of the governor, so it doesn't get much higher. But she wants to be a surgeon, and women aren't allowed to be a surgeon.
Yeah.
So she's slightly resentful of both ends as well. And it's a kind of struggle between these two people that come from two very different backgrounds that do have a connection, but kind of misfire sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, they fancy the pants of each other and both want to heal the world.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And they're quite rock and roll in their own 1860s, 1870s way.
Yeah.
And she's played by an Australian actress.
Yeah, Maya Mitchell, yeah.
Okay, so Maya Mitchell, because I said to Jane's an Aussie, and I said, how wide world spread is Maya's fame? She said, well, she's really, really famous in Australia. And now, is she putting on an English accent, or is she... Because Aussie Jane pointed out that she can hear the Australian in the accent, but you would have then, because that's how the Australian accent came about, almost.
Yes.
Which is interesting,
yes,
isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, we have a lot of Australian actors.
I know. So you have Are they playing Brits, or are they playing Australians with a different accent because it was 140 years ago? Or does it matter?
I don't know whether it does matter, but I suppose she is playing... No, she'd be playing a Brit. Yeah, because he would have come over, but then she would have picked up an accent because she would have spent all her life
So
there.
this is spot on. Her accent.
So the governor would have been fully English, I would have thought.
Yeah. So Aussie Jane says the
would have
New
grown up there.
Zealand accent is only 100 years old. She's done her Antipodean accent research, haven't you? Yeah, it's so cool. Who else is in? Who else is in? I know who's in there, but just tell everybody else.
David Thewlis, wonderful David Thewlis. He plays Fagin.
He's so good.
And he's great. He's just so much
What
fun.
is it like riffing off him?
It's brilliant. It's great fun because he's playing such an over-the-top character as well.
Yeah.
I mean, Fagin is just a fun character to play.
Well, I talked to you about Fargo before we came on. Of course, he's in Fargo.
Of course he is, yeah.
Playing a very Fagin-like character.
Yeah.
You know, is he David Thewlis or is he David Fearless? Do you know what I mean? What's he like from an acting point of view? Is he just like super confident out there?
He's willing to try absolutely anything, but he's very, he's quiet and very very thoughtful, and there's a lot going on. But he's also very relaxed and knows how, the energy of the crew is and how to lift them, and what's the best way to go about things, and it just makes a very nice environment to work in.
That is really interesting you've said that, because that people don't understand it. They don't get it. I mean, we don't get what other people do, and sometimes they don't get what we do. But to have an actor on set like that who has such extra capacity to be able to think about what's the mood like on the set. Everybody else is like trying to nail their lines or trying to get the character right or the backstory, and he's like, no, I've got this. And by the way, are they all right over there? What's going on over here?
Well, if you're out there for 6 months, that does.
Is that what it was?
That makes it, yeah, about 5-6 months or something like that. You're with each other every day. The relationships get very intense. It's the only world you know, and you get very focused on it. So, it does help to have, just for morale's sake, get you through it.
And
people.
He is a master of his craft as well, isn't he?
Yeah, no, he's wonderful.
It's funny because season 2 of a big TV show is the opposite to the second album for a band. Because the second album for a band is usually quite difficult, whereas season 2 of a show that's a hit and established and everybody knows each other, I would imagine it doesn't get easier, but you know what I mean.
Well, you know what worked and what didn't work, and roughly where you want to go.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes the second movie in a trilogy can be hard, because you're at you're at the end of the first, but you have to end with the beginning of the third.
Yeah.
So you don't have a beginning, middle, and end. So you don't have a good trajectory. But this, we've done it so season 1 did have a full trajectory, just in case we didn't get picked up.
Always helps.
Yeah. But this kind of does the same thing. So we do actually have a full... Hopefully we'll get to do another season.
That's why I think one of the greatest accomplishments in movie making is if the sequel is better than the original. Because you don't get a sequel unless the first film is any good.
Yeah.
And then to be better than the first film is like, yes.
Yeah, which is quite rare, actually.
Godfather.
Godfather. Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Empire Strikes Back. Some people say
yeah.
it's the best movie of all time, not only the best sequel of all time.
I
So season 1, 92% on Rotten Tomatoes. Congratulations.
Was it?
Yeah, 92%.
Wow.
I mean, that is mega, isn't it?
That's very good.
That is absolutely mega. Worldwide wise, have you been around? Have you done things like this in other climes? Have you...
Not much, really.
No, you like to stay at home.
I do, really, yes. Quite stay at home.
So this is as far as you'll go.
My job pulls me around all over the world, and it's nice to just kind of
Yeah.
stay put for a bit.
It's pretty cool, though. No, this is no slight on your director, but I did say earlier on the show, if Guy Ritchie did Dickens, he might do it like this. Because it's got, like, Blur in it and stuff, hasn't
I know, yeah. I'm glad they went for Blur.
it? It's so cool, man.
It's really cool, yeah, because there was a thing of, like, it all has to be Australian music.
Tim Minchin's in it, of course.
Yeah, Tim Minchin.
What's he like to
amazing.
hang with?
He's fantastic.
Yeah, he is.
He's very clever.
He's so clever.
He's very
frightening.
clever, yeah. And hilarious.
Yeah. And really good.
And really good,
And
yeah.
really nice.
Yeah. No, I loved him. He's brilliant. He's a really nice bloke. Yeah, they're everywhere. The whole crew were. I think it comes across as well.
Yeah.
Well, we're having fun.
Pretty confident as
Yeah.
well. It's fun. It's fun. It's nearly ridiculous, which is just what you want, but it isn't quite. So it stays on the right side.
Yeah, that's a hard thing to.
Oh,
to,
mate!
to
And
get
if
right.
you get it wrong, you can't. There's no coming back.
No.
You've jumped the shark.
Yeah.
On your own show.
Exactly. Yeah, I know.
Can we talk about cars quickly? Because I know you love
right.
cars. We always have a quick car conversation. What have you bought?
Last time was quite long, actually. I've only bought one car, I'm afraid.
Yes, go on.
It's a 20-year-old L322 Range Rover.
Right.
In green.
Now,
That's the colour we're in.
why not, of course, but why particularly?
I wanted I live out in the countryside, and I've got a Defender.
Yeah.
And I've got a Series 2A, and they're both great, but they are both rattly and uncomfortable.
Yeah, and windy,
I want something
drafty,
for the potholes that you can get in
bumpy.
on a cold morning and actually feel comfortable.
And still a bit of a classic.
It's a classic because it's before they got really techie.
Yeah. It's quite analog still.
It's analog and it's still boxy.
Yeah.
So it looks
And it
a bit
smells
more
right.
It smells right, and it feel you could turn up anywhere in that.
Yeah.
And it would be appropriate.
Okay, how'd you buy it?
Just online.
eBay?
Yeah.
Yeah, eBay's got some good cars in it.
I like eBay.
I mean, I love Piston Heads. I love Car and
Piston Heads
Classic.
good. Yep.
I love Auto Trader. I love all the auction sites who sometimes have cars online as well, online auctions. But you got to say, eBay, unexpected hits there for
You
cars.
get some really quite amazing cars on there.
I always find it interesting from a car point of view. If you're going to sell a car, why would you go and sell it on eBay? Well, I don't know, as opposed to an established car site. But obviously,
You get some
go
like
there.
£500,000 vintage race cars weirdly coming up on eBay as well.
I know. It's so fun, isn't it? I've been looking for a Volvo 240 Estate.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Because every great movie, or if a movie's great if it has that car in it. And the last movie that I watched that had a 240 DL Estate in was American Animals, which I was talking to you about before the show.
Right, I haven't seen it yet.
Which is great anyway. It's great. And that film is a great... If you've never seen American Animals, and lots of people haven't, I hadn't seen it until Saturday. I only watched it because Bart Layton was on the show on Friday talking about the new Hemsworth movie, which is Crime 101, which is out a week on Friday. So I thought I'd go back and have a look what else he'd done.
Right.
This film is unbelievable. Unbelievable. So Chris's new film is about a diamond heist, right? It's a gentleman, not gentleman, sort of anti-hero thief.
Right.
And Hemsworth plays a very gorgeous, stylish, snappy, vulnerable, frightened diamond thief. It's brilliant, right? It's all in there. And then in 2018, he made this movie, Bart made this movie called American Animals, which is about these kids trying to steal the most expensive book in the world, which is a true story. Anyway, the point is, in the film, is a Volvo Estate 240 DL.
They're great, though.
Yeah, and as the film starts, you think, this is great. And I said to my wife, is this as good as I think? She says, this is the best movie we've never seen. And then a Volvo Estate pitches up, at which point you know you're in good hands.
It's the ultimate estate.
I know, I've never had one.
Defined estate.
We got pictures of people here watching the show, which flashes to judge in a second or two. Other great picks. This is a great pick for you, Artful Dodger. You've done it again. You've got a nose on you for hits, right? One show I've never seen, Queen's Gambit. Never seen it.
Not seen it?
No.
Oh, that's actually really good.
No, I know it's really good, and I don't know. I just haven't got around to seeing it. When it came out, I was going to see it. Got to see this. Everybody's talking about it. For people who haven't seen Queen's Gambit, give us 10 seconds on Queen's Gambit.
Queen's Gambit is a show all about chess, which was trying to be made for years and years and years and years. Mm-hmm. And everyone's like, well, no one wants to make a show about chess because it's boring. And how do you make two people set opposite each other dynamic and interesting? Yeah. And the answer is you just write a really good story. And that's all. It's just. And
it was like
it's just well written,
thrilling, and all the stuff in it. Well, that's good. And then you were in Pistols. You played Malcolm McLaren in Pistols.
Yeah, that's fun.
Was that with Danny Boyle behind the camera?
Yeah.
Was he around for everything?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I watched that. I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah.
Tell us about working with Danny Boyle. What does he bring to the party?
Himself. I mean, he's kind of mad and out there and has crazy ideas.
Fearless again.
Absolutely fearless. Like there was a moment where he was like, maybe we should put zombies in. I'm like, what? And it was he didn't tell anyone except the makeup department, who rushed around trying to make zombies for the Pistol. I was like, how's that going? And he was like, oh, actually, no, it's not a good idea.
Yeah. So and then he made 28 years later because he needs to
exactly. Yeah, I think you're getting mixed up with.
Have you seen Bone Temple?
No.
Oh my gosh, buckle up for that one.
No, he's brilliant. I love Danny.
And everybody here, the team here, are talking about Ferb because you are the voice of Ferb. Right. Tell us about Ferb.
Ferb's, yeah.
Fabian and Ferb.
That was Phineas and Ferb.
Phineas and Ferb, sorry. Fabian, sorry, Fagin. We're getting there in the end, okay.
Phineas and Ferb, I got that when I was 18, I think. And I didn't know anything about it. They just wanted to make this cartoon, and they were fans of Love Actually, and like, we need an English kid. And
yeah.
So I just did that. But my character only has one line per episode, basically. So I would go in and record. I had no idea what the episodes were about.
You were in Love Actually. I forgot. You were the kid in Love Actually.
Oh, did you not know that?
No way. Oh my gosh. I thought you looked like him, but I wasn't sure. I didn't want to mention it. It's good, man. You keep picking him, don't you? You keep picking him. Well, look, 92% season 1 for Artful Dodger.
Yeah, that's great. I didn't know that.
So this is good. So we're going to crack on from there because this is, it's got it all going on. Yeah. The opening 5 minutes to episode 1 is off the chain. You haven't seen it, have you?
No.
He said before, I haven't seen it. I said, don't worry, I have.
But I've read it.
Yeah, no, you were in it.
Yeah, and I was in it. And it's fast moving, and I think within the first 10 minutes I'm doing surgery again already somehow.
Yeah, it's so
going
cool.
from a cell to
so cool. Do you know if there's going to be a season 3? When do they tell you?
I don't know yet. No. I mean, it's if you get picked up for season 2, it's normally quite likely to get.
Yeah, we had a guy in from Shrinking last week. Michael Urie was in, and I mean, this is Shrinking, So it's like Apple TV. It's got Harrison Ford. It's got Jason Segel in it. And during the show, it was whilst he was sitting where you were sitting. This is last week. During the interview, it was announced that they'd commissioned a season 4, so we got to tell him.
That's cool.
I don't have that for you right now. Sorry.
Oh, you set that up perfectly.
Yeah, I know. As I was speaking, I thought, oh no, this sounds like it doesn't matter. It's so good, man. It's so good. It's great to have you here. We love having you here. Thanks for coming. I know you don't do lots of this stuff, but I appreciate the fact you do it. So much.
It's always fun.
Artful Dodger is back. It's on Disney Plus. It's soon, isn't it? Soon. Episode 1 is soon. Next week. All right. I've seen quite a few because I've got this. Not a dodgy link. It was from Disney. Right, so can you I think it's Disney or Thinkney, I'm not quite sure. Can you sign the mind map of the interview for me if you don't mind?
Yeah.
And then can we give it to one of these beautiful people watching the show? So Tim is watching the show, fully immersive. Look at Tim there, watching the show. We've got Mandy P in South Sea watching the show. Thank you, Mandy. We've got your fave Scouser Neil from Highton watching the show. There you go. And then we've got, who's this? Doing a jigsaw whilst waiting for a delivery, watching the show. Does that win? Doing a jigsaw, waiting for a delivery, watching the show.
That's quite fun, yeah. I quite like it. It's an unfortunate photograph of me, but it's good, yeah.
Okay, well, no chance. Forget that. It's all right. We'll print it. We'll give her a copy as well. What do you want to go for? That one then. Neil from Highton, Mandy P in South Sea. What do you think?
Oh, that's quite sweet. The little doggy.
Or Tim. What do you think?
Tim? No, I'll go for the doggy.
Tim triple screening. Bad example.
That's a bit over the top, I think.
All right, so we're going for the doggy.
Yeah, go for the doggy.
Okay, we're going for the doggy. All right. Thanks for that. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for the car chat. You're the best.
Always.
Do you have another top pick that you've decided to do that you can't tell us about?
Cars or...
Well, either. Job, I was talking about mostly. But...
Oh, no.
That's a yes! That's a yes! That was the loudest yes I've ever heard. Clearly Bond. Would you Bond?
Would I Bond?
Yeah. Another yes! This is like checking social media already. Oh my God, he said he's going to be Bond. Good. Thanks for being here. All right, let's hear it for Thomas, please, if you don't mind. All right, please welcome the man, the artist that is currently nominated for an Academy Award, right, in the movie that's currently nominated for the most Academy Awards ever. Please welcome the one, the only Delroy Lindo. Thank you, Delroy. Thank you. Thank you for already putting up with our nonsense.
It's all right.
Okay, this is how we roll. How are you, my friend?
I'm well, thank you.
Congratulations on everything.
I really appreciate
Oh, my goodness me.
Thank
well,
you.
Here we are in Southwark, a couple of miles up the road, Lewisham, of course, where you started in that first play as a 5-year-old in the Nativity.
You've been doing your homework. Look at you.
Yeah, and here we go. 63 years on, you're up for an Academy Award. All we need to do is talk about what happened in between.
Cool.
Is that all right?
How much time do we have?
Yeah, we have as much time as you darn well like. I mean, what a journey, my friend. What a journey. First of all, tell us that lovely story, if you don't mind, about how you found out about the nomination.
I did not watch the live telecast, and my phone rang, and it was my son. And I don't know if I can curse on this show, but he said...
I would prefer it if you didn't, but...
Okay, no. Then I will...
I mean, you can.
No.
Nobody's going to stop you, you know.
My son said, "Dad, you got that? Beep, beep."
Thank you very much indeed. Yeah.
I said, "Oh, really?" He said, "Man, you got that? Beep." So yes.
And you sort of were the last person that expected the nomination.
I was not 100% confident.
Right.
And it's been an interesting journey in that regard. And I actually spoke with a critic about this. And what he explained to me that when I didn't get included in the nominations by the various guilds leading up to the Oscars, the wind starts to kind of blow in another direction.
Yeah.
Right. And his take on it was, if I hadn't gotten nominated for Five Bloods a few years ago, this being a very different part and less screen time, candidly, he felt not sure. So I was not 100%.
Which, I mean, now as it's turned out as it has, that's sort of a very fortuitous sort of mindset to be in, isn't it? Because it's all the more surprise.
Well, that, and he also kind of articulated to me, he mentioned to me the various people in the past who have also not been nominated by the various guilds and been nominated for Academy Awards.
Yeah. Interesting. And is it also true that once your son made the call, you then checked your phone for text messages and you 179? 179.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want confirmation, there you.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
I figured, something's up here.
Wow, 179.
179.
I mean, have you had days like that in the past where things have happened in your life and you've had loads of people congratulating you on things and jobs, but
Yes.
not to that extent? Though?
Not to that extent. And ironically, I received multiple texts when Sinners came out.
Yeah.
And that's when I had the thought, oh, this is special, because a lot of people were texting me and telling me not only that they had enjoyed the film, but the content of their commentary was such that it wasn't just, oh, I liked it. It went into depth about how the film had touched me.
Yeah, gosh, it's so amazing. And your journey, your story. I mean, that's a movie anyway, isn't it? Your story.
Any producers out there?
Yeah, you're available now, but well, you might not be. Geez, how since the nomination, how does that change your career? Even considering what you've achieved already.
Right. How it will change my career? Only the future will.
Has it already though?
I've been doing a lot of interviews, man.
Yeah, sorry about that. And here comes another one. I'm just trying to think of some questions you haven't been asked.
There are what has changed, kind of, sort of, obviously, I guess. What's changed is that I'm doing a lot more interacting with the press,
right,
specifically in context of having gotten this nomination. Talking a lot about the film, trying not to get really bored with the sound of my own voice.
Yeah.
But I never get tired of talking about the film. But in terms of work and my career, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Okay. Should we talk about Star Wars? Because we might not be sitting here were it not for Star Wars.
You completely lost me.
I know. Thank goodness. Because of you were understudying for James Earl Joyce, and he went up.
James Earl Jones, yes.
James Earl Jones.
Yes. All right. Now I'm with you.
Yeah.
So yes, I got to make my Broadway debut with a very good friend of mine, Danny Glover, in a play called Master Harold and the Boys back in 1982. Now I say 1982. I started when I was 3. So just I started acting when I was. Yep. That was a joke. That's why I never do comedy, man. That's why I never do comedy. It never works.
But you have got one of the best laughs in show business. I'm so glad you started laughing, because I was nervous for us.
I said, so for all you watchers out there, I said I started when I was 2 and I got blank stares. What the is he talking about? Anyhow, in 1982, yes, James Earl and Danny were doing. He's playing Master Harold and the Boys in Athol Fugard on Broadway. And James Earl had to go out to Los Angeles to do some ADR, some additional dialogue recording for Star Wars.
Yeah.
Darth Vader in Star Wars. And that allowed me to make my Broadway debut.
God bless George Lucas.
God bless George Lucas. God bless James. God bless Darth Vader. All of it.
God bless. Let's talk about God. Let's talk about those 3 divine interventions when you were seriously considering giving it up. Even though you'd worked, you'd earned some money, you'd done the play, and you're in New York, and you literally you say that...
I wasn't considering. But please, you finish.
No, go ahead.
Well, I wasn't considering giving up.
You're a bit down then.
I was down.
Yeah,
and I needed a break from New York City.
You needed a sign.
Well, I got a sign. What I needed at that point was, what I felt I needed at that point was to get out of New York for a while. I was just overloaded and things were not.
You were over New Yorked.
I was over New York. I was New Yorked out for a second. And you've probably heard that a friend of mine, Denzel Washington, I was talking to Denzel, and he encouraged me not to leave.
Yeah.
And there was that. And if you're speaking about sign from God, you may be thinking about another story that I told.
Yeah, well, there's messengers, that literally the courier.
Well, that.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was another time, and I'm in New York City. I'm parking my car on Park Avenue, and the courier, the bike messenger, spies me, sees me, and does a double take, turns, comes back, and he says, "You're an actor, right?" I said, "Yeah, bro, yeah." He says, "You know what I like about you in the movies, man?"
Careful.
I won't. I promise. He said, "You know what I like about you in the movies?" And I said, "What, bro?" And he said, "Don't nobody F with you." And he didn't say F with. He said the word. He said, "Don't nobody F with you in the movies, man." And that was absolutely, I considered that to be a sign, a message that I should keep going.
Yeah, I call it the 3 C's with you, because there was the courier, the cab driver, and the crossover guy.
Cab driver, yeah. I'm not sure if he was driving a cab. He was in a vehicle.
Right.
It may have been a cab, but he was in a vehicle and stopped at a red light in New York. And I'm walking down 6th Avenue. I was walking down 6th Avenue. After having just come from an audition for a TV show that I knew I was not going to get the part, but I had done a really good audition. And I'm standing at the light, waiting to cross. He stops. He looks at me and says, "You're an actor, right?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Man, I don't know what's happening with your career, but you're good, man. Don't stop. It was words to that effect.
Yeah.
And that absolutely I took it.
And
as a sign.
we had two sisters on the other week talking about a book called Glimmers, and it's those moments in life where you're just present enough to see what's good for you and what you need in the moment.
Absolutely.
And they really work, don't they? Because they are only
Absolutely.
glimmers, but they're so much more powerful than that.
Absolutely. And they you know, one interprets them. We all interpret these things differently.
Mm-hmm.
For myself, it was absolutely a sign. And these are the moments in life that where you get a little nudge,
Yeah.
you know, that says, just keep going.
Yeah.
No matter what's happening in this present moment, keep going.
Just keep on keeping on.
That's
the
right.
thing, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And auditions. All the audition stories, you just kept going up for them. Failed to plan is planning to fail. So you just do your best.
You do your best.
Always do your best. And as long as you did what you could, you went away from auditions thinking, well, you know, that was it. I gave everything I've got. I've learned from it. They've seen me. I've seen them. You know, and on we go.
It's not necessarily articulated like that, but certainly there's a process. Excuse me. There's certainly a process in which one comes to terms with, internally. One comes to terms with whatever it is that's transpired, and you come to terms with it in such a way that you can do the next audition.
Yeah. And often that involves you going the extra mile, putting rocks in your shoes.
That was the audition. It was the rocks. I had been called in to audition for something called it was ER.
Was it
No.
LA Law?
It was LA Law.
Yeah.
It was LA Law, and it was not to replace the actor Blair Underwood, but they were revamping the cast, and I had this tape started playing in my head. I'm not going to get this part. I don't look anything like Blair. The Blair look is what they're looking for. I am not looking like Blair. But anyhow, yes, I had this. The part that I was auditioning for was a character who was described as, he just was, I don't remember exactly how it was described. He had
Jumpy, maybe.
He had a strange relationship to the world, and he was very, very agitated. And I had this idea the night before I did the audition, to put rocks in my shoes so that I would not be comfortable, so that as I walked around, I would not be comfortable. And that's what I did. And as far as I'm concerned, it worked really well because I did a really good audition. It was one of those auditions that, and I've only had maybe 3 in my whole career where I felt I absolutely did the best I could.
Yeah.
I absolutely did what I intended to do in the room for the producers. And I will not say that it doesn't matter whether I got the part or not, because I wanted the part. But if I didn't get the part, I really genuinely felt I did as much as I could do.
Yeah.
And that's when I was walking down 6th Avenue and I had that interaction with the gentleman behind the wheel of the car.
Love it. Did you have to audition for the Nativity when you were 5? Or were you straight in?
Yeah, man. I had my agent call.
But when you are cast in the Nativity as a kid, you do want a good part. You don't want to be the sheep.
But you know what?
Come on.
I didn't realize it at the time, but I had an advantage because I was the only black kid in the school and I played the Black King.
Yeah.
So they kind of sort of didn't have a choice but to cast me.
Imagine if they hadn't.
If they had not cast me, if I had not been cast in that, then the trajectory of my life could have been very
And so
different.
the teacher, your teacher said to another kid,
Michael Penny. And you know what? Listen, let me just say this. If Michael Penny is still around and has heard me invoking his name over and over and over again and telling the world that he couldn't remember his lines, I'm sorry, man. I apologize. I apologize.
Well, do you know what? We tried to find him yesterday.
You did not.
We did. We put a bit of research.
Like, for real?
We were going to try and bring him in or put him on the phone, as long as it didn't make you feel uncomfortable.
Oh, wow.
But we couldn't get to him in time. But if,
Wait. Is he still...
I don't know. How far did we get, Jane?
We found some people from your primary school.
for real?
Yes.
But not Michael Penny?
Yeah.
Not Michael.
You know why? Because Michael Penny is hiding, man. He's embarrassed. So I'm not going on and...
Poor old Michael Penny. If you do win the Oscar, right, please thank Michael Penny. In your
I absolutely... Well, you know what?
Please.
Here.
A penny for your thoughts.
Okay, penny for my thoughts. Here. I have heard that the acceptance speeches are timed.
Yeah.
And they start, you probably noticed, they start playing music when they want you to get off the
They
stage.
do.
So I'm not sure that I will have time to thank Michael Penny. However,
Yeah.
if you all find Michael Penny,
Yeah.
give me a contact, an email or something,
Yeah.
and I absolutely will reach out to him.
I mean,
Promise.
When the music starts playing on Oscars night, when you win, not if you, let's manifest this. When you win, right, when you win, Delroy.
God bless you.
When the music starts, and
Just
you know,
talk louder. Just talk louder.
Just talk louder, and then because then they turn it up louder, don't they? Because
They do.
Yeah. So when they turn it up really loud, just go, and Michael Penny. Will you do that, please?
That's a good idea.
I beg you.
I can't promise, but that's a
Come
good
on,
idea.
of course you can promise. Michael Penny, man. And so the teacher says to poor Michael Penny, he couldn't remember his lines. He probably runs the world now or something like that.
Dig it.
Let's
Exactly.
hope he does. Let's hope.
Yeah.
How was Michael Penny as a school pal? Was he a dude?
He was not a pal. I mean, he was not. I remember, actually, ironically.
I believe it's the Michael Penny
No,
show.
this is the Michael Penny show.
Yeah.
I remember what he looked like,
Yeah.
but it's not like we were
Yeah,
friends. He was playing King Herod.
Yeah.
And when it came time to start, the time during the production when we were supposed to be off book,
Yes.
we were supposed to have committed the lines to memory. He couldn't remember.
I love the fact you're now applying a term that you learned off book to when you were 5.
Yeah, how about
It's
that?
so funny.
Yeah, how
isn't
about
it?
that, right?
So, and then the teacher says to Michael, "Do it a bit more like Delroy."
Yes.
And your ears pricked up, and you thought, what does that mean?
Well, she said, there were a couple things she said. She said, words to the effect, do it like Delroy, and the way she didn't say project, but she said the way he says the words,
Yeah.
everybody can hear him, which is projection.
Yeah.
And she made a reference about the way I carried
Uh-huh.
my bearing, the way I was carrying myself. And that was, even though I didn't interpret it as such at the time, a light bulb went off.
Yeah.
And what I've said to various of your colleagues, I believe it was being affirmed in that way that made me start to... I felt confident.
Yeah, completely. And that was it, wasn't it?
But listen, we've all had those moments, right?
Yeah,
Have we
totally.
not all had those moments as children when something happens and there's before the event and
Yeah.
there's after the event, and
So
we've all
true.
had that.
So
right?
true. So
Yeah.
true. So let's fast forward to a couple of years ago now. Is it chance? I don't know. I've got no idea. Do the right things and hopefully the right things will keep on happening. And then you make yourself a big target for good things to happen too and things like that. Is it true that had you not lived 15 minutes away from Ryan, you might not be in the film Sinners as well?
No, that's not exactly true. The fact that Ryan and I we live 15, 20 minutes from each other meant that he would see me around.
Right.
He would see me in the village where the town where the section of the town where we live. No, I'm not sure that I would not have done Sinners, and you'd have to ask Ryan if you talk to Ryan. I'm not sure what his impression of me was when we would, occasionally bump into each other.
So you did see each other in town.
Yeah.
Right, okay, around the town, shopping and...
But because I'm an airhead,
Right.
I would never put it to, oh, that's Ryan. He would say, hey, man. I say, hey, man, how you doing? And I never put it together. Oh, that's Ryan.
Yeah.
Because I'm an airhead.
You probably knew subconsciously, maybe.
Possibly.
Yeah.
But you've heard the story about him emailing me.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. He texted me.
Random stuff.
Random. At one point, he had asked me for my number, and I had given him my number.
Yeah.
And I receive a text asking me if I play piano. And I reference this film Crooklyn that I did back in the early 1990s, and I said, no, I don't play piano, but I did a lot of instruction when I was preparing to do Crooklyn. So it's not necessarily a question of were we not neighbors, I would not have done the film, because the thing about Ryan, he's made it really clear to me, and this is such a beautiful thing for me to have, memory for me to have. He said when Malcolm X came out, which is 1992, he went with his dad. His dad took him to see Malcolm X, and he remembered me from the film. And he's talked about the impression that my work in that film had on the film as a whole, but also the impression that my work specifically had on him.
Again, formative years, forming those foundational, pillars.
Absolutely.
Within you.
Absolutely.
So your reply was, no, I don't play the piano. so he's, but of course you have to. You say that you've said it about Sinners. It's one of the hardest things is you're getting a sort of believable relationship with the piano.
All day long, absolutely. And it's a different part of the brain.
Yeah.
I mean, as I was working, because I had a lot of wonderful instruction from wonderful musicians in, in New Orleans. And as I was doing these various keyboard exercises, and not infrequently, I understand it's a double negative, but not infrequently, my brain and my body were not in sync. And I recognized that this is requiring of me literally a different part of my brain to make that connection.
Yeah.
And it was challenging. It was challenging.
But it's interesting, isn't it? Because when I heard you talking about that, again with Denzel, that amazing interview that's online, you and Denzel talking together. And he's never done that before, has he? He did that for you as a pal. He does not do that.
He did it for me as a
By the
pal.
way, I love the sweater you're wearing.
Oh, thank you.
That's such a cool sweater.
You know where I got that sweater?
No, I want to know.
Edinburgh, Scotland.
No way.
Yes way.
Did you match the trainers as well?
No, I did.
And because of this.
What kind of question is that? Of course I did.
Well, because I wouldn't, because look at the way I'm dressed. But and you had the sinister itch. That was a very cool look, my friend. Very cool look.
Thank you.
Now, you were talking about that, and as you were talking about it, I thought, because obviously in this job, I meet a lot of musicians, a lot of actors.
You do in this job. Okay,
a lot of
got you.
actors and a lot of comedians, right?
Got you.
And it's when comedians are around, it doesn't matter if there's 1,000 other people. Comedians tend to go to other comedians, and they have this relationship, which comes from a different part of their brain, which we don't have. And musicians have it. Right, and musicians love to be with actors and comedians, but they when comedians talk to comedians, musicians talk to musicians, it's like listening to a different language. And I think actors have it with other actors. That's what I've seen.
I agree with you, and I'm recalling as you're speaking, going all the way back to Crooklyn. When Spike asked me to do Crooklyn, I had a conversation with Terrence Blanchard, the brilliant Terrence Blanchard. And I said to Terrence, okay, in terms of the creative process, Terrence, what in your experience is the difference between actors and musicians? And I don't remember what he said, but I remember thinking just what you said. It's a different process. It's a different communicative process between musicians, actors.
Yeah.
It's very different.
It's so interesting, isn't it? It's so interesting.
Dancers also.
Yeah. Well, I think it's like-minded, creative people.
Yeah.
And Bradley Cooper, for example, Star is Born. So Bradley Cooper famously has said that he'd never sung in public before A Star is Born, which is incredible when you think about how he sings in that movie. And he says to this day, God bless him, because he's so respectful of musicians, that even though he smashed those songs, and has performed in front of millions of people on the TV at various events, he's still not a singer. He's not a musician. He's an actor playing a singer because he doesn't have that bit of the brain.
That's right.
And from a respect point of view, that's amazing. From a sort of self-observed point of view, that's amazing. And you've been in the same kind of
and smart and respectful.
Really smart. I mean, that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
You say that we meet your character, Delta Slim, in Sinners. He's not a drunken bum, but he's a pretty drunk musician on the sidewalk.
Self-medicating.
Yeah, self-medicating.
Self-medicating.
Yeah, and then we see his journey in the film from that sort of porch, sidewalks, veranda kind of situation to being the gatekeeper for his kith and kin. And
Now, question: are you interpreting it like that? Because that's a great way to interpret it. Are you interpreting it like that, or are you just copying off the things that I've said?
a bit of both, if I'm being honest.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm
Fair
just
enough.
being like a guided meditation. Yeah. Sometimes I need a bit of guidance. Sometimes I go off piste.
Right,
you know,
right,
but I'm
right,
happy to
right.
take your lead on that. I mean,
No,
why
no,
wouldn't I?
but please finish. Go ahead.
So no, and the thing that I've read about you say, I've never heard you say it, but read about you saying is the moment, the profound moment in the movie where your Delta makes a speech, and within that, people, not me, other people have seen the genesis of the birth of the blues.
Yeah.
Can you just speak to that a moment, if you don't mind?
I don't mind because it's. I never get tired of talking about this. The only thing I don't want to take away from how special it was, but the moment that you're referring to is the moment at the end of the monologue in the car. And we had done 6 or 7 takes of that scene, and there was there was some improvisational moments, some things that I'd added throughout the course of the monologue. One of the challenges in that scene was that we had a finite distance to travel in the car, and we had to, if we got to the end, we had to turn around and go back in the direction in the opposite direction and start the scene again. And on the probably 6th or 7th take, Michael B. Jordan, who plays Stack and Smoke wonderfully, Mike didn't stop the car. We got to the place where we were supposed to stop, and Mike didn't stop because the rhythm of the scene was such that we were really in rhythm with what was happening. And Mike veered off to the dirt road and kept going. And because the camera was mounted on the car, we were able to just keep going. And what that did was it allowed me to more fully feel what I was feeling in the moment. And that's what, and more fully feeling what I was feeling produced that final moment, the holla, the going into song. And we turned around and we did the scene maybe once or twice more, incorporating that moment. And one of the most affirming, gratifying aspects for me of being in this film is that audiences have said in that moment they saw the birth of blues music, which is an extraordinary thing. Yeah, it's a wow moment.
And it was all meant to be, wasn't it? Because he carried on driving, and you had this sort of confidence that you'd nailed the scene anyway.
Actors I never feel like I've nailed it. However, I never feel like I've nailed it.
Well,
but
let me tell you do quite a lot. So congratulations.
Thank you. But what I did feel was a groundedness in the moment, in the scene, a real groundedness and a sense that something beautiful and special had happened.
And something was flowing through you.
No question.
And there was more to come, and so you carried on.
That's exactly right. And I would be remiss if I did not say that I may have been the conduit for that moment, that final moment.
Yeah.
But all of us were working in concert at that point.
Oh, wow.
Mike veering off and continuing to drive the car. Sammy, Preacher Boy Miles, we were all working in concert. The fact that the cameras continued rolling meant that Ryan was sufficiently in tune with what was happening that he kept the cameras rolling, and our brilliant director of photography, DP, Autumn Derald Arkapaw, had enough sensitivity She's brilliant, by the way. I don't know if she's scheduled to come on here, but she's brilliant.
We'll get her on.
Get her on.
Book her, Jano.
That her sensitivity was such that she captured the moment
Yeah.
beautifully. So we were all working in concert.
And when it happens like that, when the stars align, and by the way, how many stars had to align to get to that moment,
That's right.
day, the
That's right.
mood on set, the makeup, how long it took, when it all
of it.
That's never not going to happen. That when it's so meant to happen.
It's so meant to happen. It's in the pocket. It's locked in.
Yeah.
And it's captured on film forever.
And all you've got to do is get out of your own way. We've all got to get out of our own way and let this thing happen here.
This guy's a philosopher. If your day job doesn't work, man, philosophy.
It's funny, isn't it? What a side hustle we're having today, aren't we? Both of us between us. By the way, the juice joint. Who doesn't want to have a party there, man? I mean, come on. What was it? Did you have the party? When the camera stopped rolling, that we hoped you did, because we would have done.
No, because but wait a sec. But listen.
Yes.
Something better was happening.
Okay.
Than a party. Something better was happening. What was happening was we were so locked into the work, and Hannah Beecher, our brilliant production designer, created a space in which we could all do that wonderful work.
Yeah.
So in a sense, it was better than a party.
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we were talking about this. A friend and I were talking about this yesterday, about the fact that when you've got a job like ours, because we're so blessed to have a job like ours,
All day long, absolutely.
Sometimes when the job finishes, whether it's a late night TV show or a great day's shooting, you carry it because you're in such a good mood. You go, all right, let's go and have a drink, let's go and have a meal, and you try and out party the party because the party is the work.
The party is the work. Well put.
Yeah.
He's a philosopher. You all should get T-shirts. The party is the work.
The party is the work. I'm going to just drop the mic there. I'm going to leave this interview there because I'm really happy with the way this has ended. How busy are you between now and the night?
Busy.
Yeah, busy, man.
A lot of interviews, a lot of appearances, some other awards, events. But it's really okay.
I'll tell you what you can do before you go, if you don't mind. Can you give us 30 seconds for the Canadian Tourist Board? Because you spent some time in Canada. Let's do Lewisham. I can do. I'll do Lewisham. Right. So you do Canada, San Francisco, Oklahoma. Go on. Why should we visit? Why should we visit Canada?
All right then. Canada. This is what I will say. I'm not sure I'm going to directly answer your question, but this is what I will say about Toronto.
You can do what you like, by the way.
I was asked many years ago what Canada means to me, and what Toronto. I was in Toronto, Canada, and Toronto became a sanctuary, a safe haven for my mom, and I will always cherish what Toronto gave to my mother, and by extension, me. So if you're looking for sanctuary, I guess go to Canada.
Yeah, specifically
That's a stretch,
Toronto.
Right? That's somewhat of a stretch.
Yeah, other
But,
Canadian towns and cities are available. Right, San Francisco.
San Fran. Oh man.
Wait, how old were you when you landed in San Fran?
So listen. I'm not going to answer that question. I'll tell you why. No, I'll tell you why.
You weren't like this with Denzel.
I got news for you, man. You're not Denzel.
Yeah, okay.
Just so you know.
Because I thought I was.
Yeah, I could tell. So listen, the reason I'm not answering that question is because you've probably heard that I'm writing a memoir, and all will be revealed in the memoir. So it's a plug for my book. Plug.
What's it going to be called?
I can't tell you that.
What?
Actually, there's a working title, but I'm fairly positive that when the book is published, it will have another title.
What about Wise Man? Because you started as one of your still ones.
That's good, but what I have is better.
Okay.
But listen.
Shooting the breeze with you. He's getting a bit sticky at the moment.
But the reason I'm not answering the question is because I want to save some things for what.
All right, just tell me when you landed there. How old are you when you landed in San Fran?
You just asked me that question. He's not as slick as he thinks he
Yeah.
is.
No, but what year was it? Sorry.
77.
77. So 77.
Yeah.
So that was sort of.
So
Star
wait a
Wars-
minute. You just
Star-
put it together.
So
He was born in this.
Yeah.
Duh.
So Star Wars and Jaws was all around at the time.
After. So the Star Wars thing was after.
Yeah.
When I was 1982.
No, but the movie was out. Star Wars was
Oh,
77,
yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Star Wars, because it was a great. 77 was a great year for the Oscars, wasn't it? Amazing year for the Oscars.
I have no idea.
I think it was like Close Encounters. Yeah, it was a
Was
big.
that 77 was not One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
May well have been. Yeah. Did it win
was?
Best Picture?
It was?
Nice one. Wow.
So I've forgotten your question.
Doesn't matter. It was rubbish anyway. Oklahoma. Why should we go to Oklahoma?
You've lost me. I've never been to Oklahoma in my life.
Don't you live in Oklahoma?
Oklahoma?
No, Oakland. I think I may have referenced you meeting Ryan in Oklahoma earlier on.
No, Oakland.
Oakland.
Yeah,
Okay.
Oakland.
Why should we go to Oakland?
Oakland is a very hip city. Okay. Oakland is perhaps somewhat in the shadow of and I'm saying shadow in quotes,
Right.
of San Fran, but I happen to feel that Oakland is a really interesting city. A lot of people who can no longer afford to live in San Francisco have moved to Oakland.
Right.
So culturally, it's very rich. There's a huge spoken word tradition, spoken word / hip hop music tradition in Oakland. There's a vibrancy. If you want, anybody who wants to visit the Bay Area, the San Francisco Bay Area, and get a different experience from San Fran, because they're very different cities. They're very close together, but they're very different. If you want a different flavor, a different sense of the Bay Area, absolutely visit Oakland.
And do you go and see the Oakland A's? Have I got that right?
You do have. I'm not a baseball fan.
Because the Moneyball is based on
And
the
also,
Oakland A's.
Moneyball is based
What a-
there,
what a movie, by the way.
But tragically,
Yeah.
the A's have left. They're no longer in Oakland.
I didn't know that.
And man, and that's a tragedy. I will say this: the A's left, the Warriors, the basketball team, the Golden State Warriors left, and I will say this: the tragedy of our ball teams leaving is that, and this is another plug for Oakland, the best fan base in the world. They're fervent about their teams. Even when the teams are losing, they are fervent. And it's really a tragedy that the ball clubs left.
All right, hang on a second. Okay, we can finish with this. Are you ready for this? Because you just reminded me of something. Because you're not a baseball fan, but you're a massive football fan.
I am.
And you're a Man United fan. And Man United have just turned it around, haven't they? Yeah. Come on. What do you
I
think?
will say this.
You go ahead.
I will say this.
Yes.
I will say humbly, it's a good thing. I'm sorry, but it's a good thing that Ruben Amorim is no longer there.
Yeah.
And we see the results,
Yeah, 3 on the bounce, man.
right? We see the results
Michael
like
Carrick.
immediately.
Have you been to see them?
I saw them in San Francisco, actually.
Wow.
I saw that.
They do
I
that,
saw
don't they?
They do.
They got those cheeky
They
tours.
there was this preseason
Yeah, a couple of
American
years ago,
tour.
wasn't it?
That's right.
Yeah,
I saw
Liverpool
them
went and-
beat Real Madrid.
What a laugh.
It was when Anthony Martial was still playing.
Are you looking forward to the World Cup?
I am.
Yeah?
I am. I hope I can get some tickets.
I think you might be all right if Man United are watching. I can't tell you what a joy it's been to
Thank
meet
you
you.
so
Thank you
much.
so much for being here.
I really
and
appreciate
a story that started down the road, and now look where we are.
Indeed.
It doesn't have to be bad to be better, does it?
You,
I had to get one more in.
no, and I want to say to all the kids in Lewisham, I want to say to all the kids in Lewisham, all the kids who are between Lewisham, Southeast London, and South Texas, and every place and every points in between. The fact that I'm sitting here talking to you, you would be surprised the distance between Lewisham and my sitting here is not as distant as you think. So whatever your dreams are, hold on to them. Because my having had a dream of being an actor when I grew up is what got me, is what's caused me to be sitting here right now.
Yeah, and you still get to play.
I do.
All right.
I do.
Let's hear it for Delroy Lindo. This gentleman is currently nominated for an Academy Award in the film that is currently nominated for the most Academy Awards ever. It's Sinners, we did it. We did it. Thank you so much. Our next guest is Queen of the Countryside, who has served lunch to sharks and performed dentistry on a polar bear. She's telling us all about it in her new tour, Not Just a Wildlife, which begins in April. So please welcome the action-packing, oh-so-cracking Michaela Strachan. Wasn't mine, it was Tilly wrote it.
That was great. Love
Nice
that.
to see you. Let's just go straight in with the intro questions. Polar bear dentistry, what happened there?
Well, haven't you done that? I mean, hasn't everyone done polar
to
bear
be honest,
dentistry?
no. I mean, it's on my bucket list, but I don't know who to talk to. Oh, I'll talk to you.
Talk to me. I went up to the Arctic. I did a programme called Michaela's Wild Challenge. Obviously, a lot of my career has been wildlife.
Yeah.
After all the 80s
We'll
stuff.
get to all that. We've got plenty of time.
But so I did Michaela's Wild Challenge, and I got these crazy challenges to do with wildlife. And one of them was to take a tooth out of a polar bear. And you wake up in the morning, you get that as a challenge. You think, okay, cool. How do we do
some
that?
kind of day. Yeah, will I see tomorrow? That's what I've been thinking.
So we were up in the Arctic, and we got a helicopter out. We went out with Russian scientists, landed the helicopter. First of all, they darted the polar bear from the helicopter.
So the first thing is like the Top Gear challenge. Today you will do dentistry on a polar bear, then a helicopter, then Russian scientists, then guns.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dart guns,
Dart
can I
guns.
say?
Oh, guns, yeah.
I've darted a lot of animals, which I've realised recently when I talked to some younger female wildlife presenters that that's not the sort of thing people do anymore. But
Right.
that's the sort of thing we did in the 80s and 90s. We just went out with our dart gun and darted polar bears, elephants, rhino, whale sharks, whatever.
Well, and what do they call that thing? What is it you're firing?
Dart gun.
Yeah, no, but what is the thing that you...
It's a tag.
Yeah, and this... What's the chemical called in it? What's it called?
Oh, don't ask me these complicated
No, but
questions, Chris.
wasn't that one of the things when we were younger? What was it? You say, it's a... Oh, I can't remember.
But anyway, you darted it.
Yeah.
But that was actually not a tag. That was to put it to sleep.
Yeah.
And then you'd land the helicopter, and then you'd all run out, and then they'd do all of this scientific work on the polar bears. So they'd take blood, they'd do a tag on the ear, they'd tattoo its bottom,
Right.
so you could spot it from a distance.
Okay.
And then to age the polar bear, we had to take a tooth out. So they gave me the pliers, and we opened the polar bear's mouth. Obviously, it's asleep now.
Yes.
And
Well,
in
you'd
you
know
go.
if it wasn't, wouldn't
You
you?
would certainly know.
Yeah.
Polar bears are one of the few animals that actively hunt humans. So you don't want to be with an awake
No,
polar
that
bear,
would not be
Chris.
good.
That's just a
Good
little
telly,
bit...
but...
And a little bit of advice I'm giving you, just in case you ever happen to be near a polar bear, okay? You don't want to get too close.
Okay.
And so we pulled it out, and then we got up in the helicopter again, and we watched it stagger up. And it was a bit alarming, because it was left with a pool of blood because of all the work we'd done, and blood on snow looks pretty dramatic.
Yeah.
And then you have to chase the polar bear away with a helicopter from the side of the ice, because you don't want a drowsy polar bear falling in the water, because then it would drown.
Yeah.
So, that was my polar bear
Gosh.
dentistry
And
story.
you have so many of these, don't you? And then there's the nature watch and winter watch. You just finished in Northern Ireland, and you're going on tour. Have you done a tour before?
And do you know, I did a tour with a children's thing called Michaela Strachan's Really Wild Adventures, and recently did a tour with 3 other wild women talking about wildlife stuff. But this is the first one that I've written myself. It's quite a scary thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been around for a long time.
It's a long time.
Chris.
120 years. Yeah.
This
year.
40 years I've been doing telly. I started very, very young, obviously. And it's quite a thing to look back at your career and find bits that you want to talk about.
Yeah.
Might not be the obvious bits that people think.
Well, that's why it's called Not Just a Wildlife, isn't it? Because people often remember the most recent thing that you've done, and you've been doing that most recent thing for a long, long time. But of course, there was BWL before Wildlife, wasn't there, I suppose? Now, can we talk about Hitman and Her? Of course we have to, don't we?
I think we have to.
Okay, so for people who don't know, what was The Hitman and Her?
The Hitman and Her was this absolutely crazy show that we did for 4 years. And we basically gatecrash nightclubs, mainly in the north of England, and we filmed what was going on. So it was me and Pete Waterman from Stock Aitken and Waterman, who produced all those amazing hits, Kylie Minogue, Jason Donovan, Rick Astley, Bananarama, all of that. And he and I presented a show from nightclubs, looking at the music, the fashion, the dancers, playing silly games like Get Your Gums Around These Plums and all sorts of utterly ridiculous games. I think it was the same time as you were doing, was it TFI Friday or maybe Big Breakfast?
Oh, God, no, it was before that. No, because...
1990. What were you doing in 1990?
I was working on Radio London in London, just about, on Greater London Radio, but I remember the show, and Rick Astley was on it, wasn't he? With He Never Gonna Give You Up was on that show, and you introduced him. I remember that.
See, you've got a better memory than I have, Chris.
Well, no, but it's funny, isn't it? Because you remember other people's stuff more than they do because they were doing it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, of course, you chanced your arm at the mic, didn't you, in the studio?
Oh, you mean I had a record single?
You had
out?
a record.
It was hugely successful, wasn't it? Do you remember it well?
Yeah, but Steve Denny, who's on before us, bought a copy.
Oh, stop!
I'm not joking. He talked about it in a show this morning, and he said he really liked it. It's Happy Radio, wasn't it?
I had two. I had Happy Radio and Take Good Care of My Heart.
Right.
I really liked Happy Radio. Take Good Care of My Heart, I didn't even like that much, to be honest.
Right.
But it's a bizarre thing. That was 1990s, early 1990s, and I was sent by the record company to Germany for the second single. The first single got to I think 66. And in this country, if you get in the top 70, you're considered a hit.
Well, top 100. If you got a single out, I mean, that's the deal.
I've had a hit single.
Yeah. That's unbelievable.
Not many people know that. But they sent me to Germany to record with a guy I'd never met before. I said, "Can I hear the record?" They said, "No, we're so convinced you'll like it." This is how you were treated in the 1990s as a young female, trying to get a pop career. And so I went.
So they wouldn't let you hear your own single?
They wouldn't let me hear the single that I had to sing on before I went.
Oh, I see.
And so I went. I listened to the single. I thought, I don't like it very much, but I'll give it a go. And I said, it's in the wrong key. And I said, well, we need to bring it down a bit.
So you had to do a live vocal?
Yeah, and he said, but I've done the backing vocals. And I said, but
so?
But I'm the artist. Should it not be in my key?
The backing vocal is called the backing vocal.
Yeah, I mean, how ludicrous is that?
Crazy.
And it had an octave leap in it. It sort of went, take good care of my heart.
Still got it, everybody. That's the clip.
I recorded it. I got back. I said, I don't like it that much. They said, well, we're releasing it. And that got to, I don't know, 63 or something. And that was the end of that.
Talking to hits and shows that are out at the moment. So Take That, I've got this documentary which is doing great business on Netflix.
Yeah.
And TFI features in it a couple of times.
Yeah.
And also Cool Cube.
Cool Cube.
Tell everybody about Cool Cube and Take That.
I don't think there's a single person that will remember Cool Cube.
Well, it's in the documentary.
I know. I watched it the other night and was quite astonished because I'm also in.
Were you really surprised? Did you know it was coming?
Somebody warned me.
Oh, right, okay.
But I didn't realise I would be in it quite so much, as I'm sure you didn't.
Yeah. Yeah, well, TFI's in a lot of those documentaries, so I'm sort of getting used to it, to be honest.
So were you in the Robbie Williams one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so was I. I was dressed as a witch. I looked utterly ridiculous. Seriously, I had witch's ears on. I thought, how embarrassing. Here I am in the Robbie Williams documentary.
You're in it. You made the cut.
Cool.
Actually, I can't remember whether we were in that one or not, but we're definitely in the Take That one. So Cool Cube, how big was Cool Cube? How many eps did it run for? Who other, as well as Take That, appeared?
So after the Wide Awake Club, I went on to do Cool Cube, which was like a teenage magazine show on B Sky B.
Yeah.
And that was like a pioneering cable channel that didn't last terribly long. And it was a great show. We did 3 hours on a Saturday, 3 hours on a Sunday. And we would interview lots of different people, talk about things that teenagers might be interested in. And so Take That used to perform in the car park of Granada Studios, which in those days were a place where people could go and walk around and look at Coronation Street.
Still can?
What, in the Granada Studios?
Yeah, I think there's still a Granada Studios tour, yeah.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Okay. You see, I'm learning so much.
Well, by
from
the
you,
way,
Chris.
there was about 10 years ago. I'm just presuming it was very good, so I hope it's still going. Good luck to everybody up there.
Yeah, so that was Cool Cube. And in fact, we found out that Cool Cube was being cancelled, well, B Sky B was going, by watching the news the morning that we were recording the next Cool Cube. So, yeah, that was quite a shock. But, yeah, they were on it. They were on it numerous times because they were unsigned. It came from Manchester, Cool Cube. They lived in Manchester. And so, we used to have them on quite a lot.
And if you look back now, it's mostly been wildlife, hasn't it, with your TV career? But, of course, then, was it even on the horizon?
No, I mean, that's why the tour is called Not Just a Wildlife,
Yeah.
because it hasn't been just a wildlife, although that's been, the heart and the core of my latter career. I started in musical theatre, and I was in a musical called Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. Do you know that one? Bless your beautiful eyes.
I've never seen it, but I know it. Yeah, yeah.
Not sure it would be your kind of thing, actually.
No,
Chris.
isn't it when they're on the roof and they're building the house? And
Yeah, all of that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Funny enough, it had the song Spring, Spring, Spring in it. So, there was a thought there to the future.
What was that?
No, seriously, it's spring, spring. Oh, the barnyard is busy and a regular tizzy. I'm doing a lot of singing.
Jazz hands came out then. Jazz
Listen,
hands.
my jazz hands.
I
have
bet
to,
they're mega.
I have to pin them down
course you
during
do.
wildlife telly. I'd love getting my jazz hands
yeah.
out. I mean, you've got the picture behind of Dancing on Ice. The jazz hands came out
By the way,
big time.
Came second.
Came
And plus
second.
that.
Oldest celebrity to ever get to the final. There's an accolade, eh?
Wow. And when was the first time you ever saw, it wouldn't have been an email then, would it? The title Spring Watch. When did that happen?
I've been doing that for 14, 15 years.
But when was the moment? Was it like a phone call, something called Spring Watch?
Yeah, I actually had to do a screen test with Chris Packham for Screen Watch, which is quite amusing because obviously we'd worked together an awful lot on The Really Wild Show and then numerous other things after that. Kate Humble, I took over from Kate Humble. Kate Humble was actually double booked because they'd changed Autumn Watch from being over 2 weeks to being over 8 weeks and she couldn't do it. So I stepped in for Kate Humble and then took over from Kate Humble. So, I got the call, do you want to do British Wildlife? And I said, that'd be great, but I haven't done much British wildlife, so my knowledge is pretty thin. And they said, well, learn as you go along.
Yeah.
So that's what I've done. That's what I'm still doing, Chris.
Yeah, totally. And the show, the 13-day tour, Not Just a Wildlife, begins Monday, 13th of April at Bristol's Redgrave Theatre until Tuesday, 20th of April in Colchester. Tickets are michaelastrachan.co.uk, and we're looking at...
Actually, it's Michaela Strachan Live.
Sorry.
.com. MichaelaStrachanLive.com.
Okay, michaelastrachanlive.com. And we're looking at Bristol, London. This is all in April. Cheltenham and Exeter and Loughborough and Reading. And then we're looking also at Frome and Malvern and Coventry and Bury and Colchester. Are you going to do what the comedians do? Are you going to do a few sort of warm-up gigs?
No.
Wow. That's punchy.
I might do to my family. My family now consists of 2 grandchildren. I'm going to put them, in their high chairs.
You'll be
and
fine.
do it.
Because you're super nice and super confident and you've been on so many stages.
No, you're worrying me now.
No, God, I don't mean to worry you. Well, obviously you'll rehearse, won't you, at least?
Yeah.
Or maybe not.
I mean, just wing it. No, I mean, it's taken me, I can't tell you how long it's taken me.
Give us some headlines, tease people, because we want people to buy tickets. So, michaelastrachan.live. Yeah?
MichaelaStrachanLive.com.
Sorry, michaelastrachanlive.com.
Do you know this is really good because it means we keep repeating it. People
Yeah, fine.
get it
I'll
at the end.
repeat it as long as you like. I don't care. michaelastrachanlive.com for tickets. Give us just 3 headlines from the show.
Obviously, I'll be talking a lot about wildlife. Spring Watch comes into it. I'm talking about my relationship with Chris Packham.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the early days as well. One of the things I'm also talking about is headlines from the 80s and 90s, the sort of headlines that a very bubbly, blonde, enthusiastic presenter got and how that has affected me during my life.
Yeah.
And also just reflecting on the fact that how on earth do people cope nowadays? I mean, Chris, you started young, I started young. We were wacky, we were different. Can you imagine the criticism we would have got on social media in the palm of our hands?
Yeah.
I mean, you and I have both coped with press stuff going on that's, not always been kind. And I don't think I would have been strong enough to cope with that on permanently
Yeah.
on my phone. I wouldn't have been robust enough.
But it's like our parents, though, because different times, different people. So, my mum, I think my kids have got it easy, right? But my mum was in the war. So, I had it easy. So it's a different language, isn't it? It's a different thing.
It's a different language. And obviously, the 80s were good times. But as I say, I think social media for young presenters starting out these days, trying to make their mark and trying to be different must be very, very difficult.
It's a double-edged sword, though, isn't it? Because the positive side of it is, everybody's got a camera and, you can edit it and it's really good and you can put soundtracks to it. And people can be original straight off the bat. And if they're any good and they've got anything about them, they do get a following pretty darn quickly. I think that's all, creatively, that's a great opportunity.
You're absolutely right. And also you can hone your skills on social media. I had to hone my skills live on the
national
Wide Awake
television.
Club. And in fact, I've got the very first bit that I did
my
that I'm
gosh.
showing in the show.
Wow.
And I'm just totally looking at the wrong camera. I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
And, you know, I went out and, I mean, we used to get millions of viewers in those days because we were the only thing on. It was the test
You were
card on
great
the
there
other
as
side.
well. It was great times.
Well, they were great times. The 80s and 90s were good times.
Any singing and dancing in the show?
I will be talking about Dancing on Ice.
Right.
I'm actually not talking about my singles, and yet every interview I've done nearly has said, "What about the singles?"
We could play a little bit. Should we play? Should we do it? Let's finish with a little bit of Michaela and Happy Radio. Can we say thank you to Michaela Strachan, please, everyone?
Thank you, Chris. Thank you.
MichaelaStrachanLive.com for tickets. This tour starts on the 30th of
30th of
April,
April.
and it's going to be so polished by the time it hits the stage. She's got like a million warm-up gigs this afternoon. It's all going to be unbelievable. Let's hear a bit of Michaela. It was Tim's birthday, Tim Booth's birthday on Tuesday. I don't know if he minds me saying how old he is because he looks amazing. Actually, let's just say hip hip hooray and happy birthday for the super smooth Tim Booth. Here we go. Okay, get out of the fridge, please, as soon as you can. And mate, happy birthday. Thanks for what you just did.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's fun.
How do you decide, when do you decide what version of the songs to play? Because you were changing it the whole time just before you went on there.
Yeah, just a few minutes before. We wanted to get some variety in tempo between the two songs, so it was like, okay, that one slower, that one faster.
You know, people are in tears on the way to work.
Oh.
Yeah, they're saying, "Where's the mascara warning?" We didn't know you needed one. We weren't sure what version we were going to get. So last year, smashing the live music last year in North America. Tell us about that.
We did the Lay tour, so we did that whole album
Yeah.
recreated, and then we changed it around because we can't stick with the same thing. We changed the set every night.
Yeah.
So we kind of mixed it in with a whole load of other songs. Had an amazing time, really beautiful.
You ended up splitting it into two, didn't you?
Yeah, we had a little interval.
That's cool, man.
Well, yeah, it was cool. But
Yeah.
you had to then maintain it. If the first half was really good,
Right.
you then have to be backstage keeping yourself pumped up. For
So you had a half time.
Yeah, we had a half.
What's it like having a half time?
It's strange. It's I'm not sure I want to do it all the time.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Super Bowl this weekend, of course, famous for its halftime entertainment. You've sort of done that, haven't you? Because you did the Rugby League Super League final at Old Trafford.
Yeah, that's a bit bringing it down to reality.
No, but it's the same thing. It's a big deal for Rugby League fans.
No, it was a lot of fun actually. It was really good.
Because I was there one year and I can't remember who played, but it was good fun. And you played before the match as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a little bits.
Yeah, so you pop up. You're on the clock, aren't you? I suppose to do that. How do you? Because in case Bad Bunny's watching. Who's
Some tips.
Yeah, go on.
Some tips.
Yeah.
I just enjoy the vibe of the audience. I think for us it was like, a game like that. Everyone's singing, the passion. You have to surf it.
Yeah.
I think I got in the audience and moved around and played with people, and then it was fun.
I mean, you went on extremely well. It didn't do any harm that it was in Manchester at Old Trafford, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, home crowd. Pete Mitchell, who's sadly no longer with us. Pete worked here first time around, second time around, and we lost him tragically and suddenly a couple of years ago. He came up with an idea, didn't he, for you guys to play on the roof of Key 103 in Manchester.
On the anniversary of the Beatles doing Get Back on the roof in London.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Lovely man.
I've seen the
Love Pete.
pictures.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was stop traffic and all these kids bunk school, and
It was the most bunked school day ever in Manchester.
something like that.
No, apparently they checked, and I don't know how they checked, but it was official.
You're making it up.
No, I'm not at all. I'm not. Well, if I am, Jane was then. Did you make it up, Jane? Jane doesn't make things up. But the pictures are amazing. There was loads of people there, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was. Yeah, where were you then? Because you.
I was down here by then.
Okay.
Yeah, I was down here by then. But I wish I'd have been there because it looked like the most fun.
It was fun. It was mad. We were like miles away up on a ledge. You know, it was one of those.
Now, you are obviously live. You absolutely kill it. You crush it. The last time you were on, your performances just on our YouTube channel are up to 10 million, which is great. Sit Down has been watched 121 million times or something and counting on various different platforms. You've always loved live. Did you once tour an album before you'd recorded it?
Yeah, we've done that a number of times.
Have you?
That was 7, I think. Yeah, we videoed it as well, thinking it would make a great video.
And is that like comedians? Sometimes they go and test their sets out, or
yeah, it probably wasn't the wisest idea to film it because the audience obviously didn't really know the music, so they were a little nonplussed.
Right.
But they were good. It was more of an intense concert because we're trying to remember all those 13 songs that we never played before.
But your fans meet you where you are, don't you? So they would have been up for that anyway.
Oh, totally. Like for this tour coming, we're going to learn a couple of new songs and see if we can get them in the set, and that no one would have heard them.
All right, and in the record store gigs, which are much bigger than that, really. If you go to them currently, which you're doing 2 tonight, and you're going up north to Liverpool, you're taking that one stage further, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, we've had this idea for ages because all our songs are written through improvisation with the 4 songwriters, and it's the 4 of us tonight. So we're just going to see if we can improvise some songs each night. But the trouble is, it might not be entertaining.
No, it will be.
But we'll tell the audience that. We're saying, look, we're going to fish, because we call it going fishing. We just came back from the Yorkshire Dales. We hire a cottage overlooking the Dales, and for 6 days, 6 hours a day, we just jam. And nobody brings anything in. You just hit a drum machine and you go.
Right.
And that's the genesis of every single James song you've ever heard.
Well, you say it won't be entertaining, but it will, though, because they'll be so excited to see you doing what you do.
Well, the entertainment might be watching how terrified we are.
Yeah, of course.
Going, is something going to come? Because when you go fishing, you don't know if you're going to catch anything.
Again, Ross Noble's coming up in a bit. He's a big fan. You just said hello to him.
I'm a big fan of Ross Noble.
Yeah, I know. And he, that's what comedians do all the time, isn't it? They go out and they try out new material,
Totally.
and some of it works, some of it doesn't. It's so cool that you're doing that.
Yeah, it is good, especially now. Like, so many bands just play the same set every night, and they're at the mercy, really, of their lighting man who wants the singer to stand there at this moment in this song, and the guitarist over there, and it becomes this kind of choreographed piece of theatre, and it's lost that madness, that excitement. And we've always felt, my inspiration was Iggy live, or Patty, and Iggy, would get in the audience, you'd never know what he was going to do with you, and I don't go with the same aggression as Iggy, but we want that interaction.
Yeah.
We want every night to be radically different.
And because you've got to stay engaged with the song, otherwise you'll lose the audience, won't you?
100%.
Yeah,
but also it's a live piece of communication.
Totally.
And we consider it, this sounds a bit pompous, medicine. So it's like, okay, what does this room need right now? So we'll be in the middle of the set and we'll go, that song's not right, so let's change it in the middle of the set and change it for something that the audience seem to need.
Well, as I say, again, I saw you, I hope lots of people saw you sing and Sit Down this morning, and you were totally in the moment, and you must have sung that song almost 120 million times that it's been viewed online.
It got a new lease of life for me because I sang it to my father-in-law when he was dying of COVID, and that was incredibly powerful. And he asked me to. I will say that, just in case you thought, I subjected my poor father-in-law.
I really didn't, actually.
And then I've been singing it in some ceremonies.
That's imposter syndrome plus, isn't
in Peru. Yeah.
Wow, that's so beautiful. That is so cool.
Yeah, and so it's got a new lease of meaning for me.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Of course, you played so many gigs. You gig so well, small, one-offs, on the roof, things like that. And then there was you touring with the Smiths.
Oh, God.
Oh, God. I mean, you forgot. God, you can forget. You're allowed to forget.
Am I meant to remember that?
Well, it's up to you, but I just don't... Can you talk about it for a second?
Sure.
Because if the Smiths came back, we know because Johnny's told us. Johnny Marrs told us
he's not doing it.
No, they've not. He's not doing it. He says he'll never do it, and I believe him. He also says they've been offered all the money to go back on tour.
Yeah.
Imagine if they did now, but you did it back then I think it was 1982 or something like that.
Meet His Murder tour.
The tour. What was it like?
It was fantastic. I mean, you know, we were going a year and a half before the Smiths, and the Smiths just arrived ready formed. I think I saw their 8th gig, and they were ready. And we took 7 years getting ready, and they took us on tour. Morrissey bigged us up, and I was close to him. It was really beautiful, and Johnny, and you know, they came to the studio when we were recording our first album and went, Johnny Yen is your single, and we foolishly didn't listen to them and went with something else. And we had a great relationship with them for many years.
And what was it like?
We went on tour with Johnny about 2 years ago in America. We did a joint headline.
Yeah, he's so good, isn't he?
He's beautiful.
I love his
What a
gigs.
beautiful human.
When he played at Carfest for us a couple of years ago, and wherever he goes when he's doing his thing, oh my gosh, I just wonder what it's like to be there. Talking of that tour, the Meet His Murder tour, what was it like for the fans? What was the atmosphere like in those gigs? You know, did everybody know what they were seeing at the time?
I think Morrissey was at his peak worship. Like, people were just in love with him. They'd never seen anything like it. You know, he was a cultural icon, and the band were, you know, they had the songs to back it up. So it was peaking. It was amazing.
And because the fans, you know, it was in period. You know, was it? Did they realise how wonderful it was? Did they have a sense of how big the Smiths were going to go on to be, and how sort of, timeless they would be?
I think they did.
Yeah.
I you know, that was really the aim to some degree, and I think they knew that. And they knew how to write a great pop song, really, didn't they? And
yes, they did.
They invited us to be on the American tour, and we pulled out because we... two of us had a meditation engagement, and we wanted to meet the meditation engagement, which was a little foolish of us.
No, but you know, when you're young and foolish, you're young and foolish. It's your job, isn't it? I suppose. Tell us about some Hacienda gigs. What's the most memorable Hacienda gig?
The Hacienda looked very cool, but the sound wasn't that great.
Very echoey, wasn't it?
So do you mean, very echoey. Yeah. So there's a terrifying first gig we did there, where you can see how terrified we are, because we can't really hear what we're doing. I don't remember a great gig at the Hacienda, I have to say.
All right.
It's more like...
We're so honest, though, isn't it?
Barrowlands in Glasgow. Yeah. I remember great gigs, like the Free Trade Hall in Manchester, amazing gigs.
Did you play the Ritz in Manchester?
Oh, yeah, tons. That's a great gig.
Yeah.
Great sound.
With the bouncing dance floor.
Yeah.
It's a trampoline dance floor, isn't it?
Yeah, totally.
Is it also true, right, that you used to sell your merch went down so well, the James T-shirts and stuff? Sometimes even when you didn't have songs out, people just loved the James merch.
Yeah, we Martine McDonough, our manager, said, "Do you like this Daisy design?" And we went, "Oh yeah, go for it." Off it went. And sold thousands. I did an interview with the NME, and the NME misquoted me when I said, "Oh, we've sold thousands of T-shirts," and put millions. And and the tax man read it, and they audited us for 5 years, checking to see where those millions of T-shirts went. And it was a disaster for us financially.
And they kept on your case, didn't they?
They kept on our case for 5 years. It was terrible.
And then you went on more tours, and hopefully it's all going to end up...
it ended up great, but it was... Yeah, those shirts, man.
Oh, gosh. Well, look, we got the tour going on again. If last year was... The reviews for the North American tour were maybe the best of your career. I don't know, I haven't checked, but they were unbeatable, really, weren't they?
I haven't read it.
Oh, mate, they were.
I don't read things.
Well, let me tell you, they were absolutely spot on.
Great.
The album Nothing But Love, the definitive best of, is out now. 58 tracks. We got lovely vinyl box sets here. I mean, that's cool, isn't it?
Yeah. And 58 tracks sounds really greedy, doesn't it? It's like we are so confident we're going to
really
give
generous.
58 tracks.
You know, that's what they want. Madness have just done the same thing. Yeah, they did a very similar thing, not the same.
I mean, we've been around like 45 years now. I think it's pretty.
How does it feel?
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
We're at the best. We're peak James.
What are you getting for your birthday?
Nothing.
Should we talk about? No, we won't talk.
No, I got a projector screen for watching movies.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. The Love Is the Answer 10-day tour. Geez, I mean, you're not going to get a better night than watching James live. Begins in Birmingham on Friday, 3rd of April, runs until Saturday, the 18th of April in Manchester. wearejames.com is where you need to go for that. And there are record store, they call them record store gigs, but they do little bits in record stores and they go over the road to a bigger venue. You're in Surrey tonight at Kingston, aren't you? And then you go up to, you playing the Cavern?
Cavern.
What a laugh.
I mean, that.
I know.
You can't help but think that is going to be something
special.
Yeah.
Lee says, just listen to James, and it was the first gig I went to with my gig buddy and life partner. We've seen them loads. She's listening with goosebumps on her way to uni. To say hi to Alison for me, please. Can you say something to Alison?
Hi, Alison.
Okay. Because people come to your gigs again and again and again, don't they? That's the thing.
Yeah.
They are.
Because we never did it for this reason, but because we change it every night.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what they're going to get.
But also they come because it's almost like, if you go on tour again, they'll come and see you again because it's in between the rest of life that's happened to them, and they can sort of use it as a benchmark to see what's gone on.
And hopefully we're trying to uplift. These are tough times for most people.
Yeah.
And it's like, ultimately, we want to uplift.
And it's communion, isn't it? There really is genuine communion. The way you sang before it was very spiritual.
Thank you, bro.
Jed says, Tear Meyer this morning watching James' sit-down performance, outstanding, brought back memories, in particular celebrating the Carbet Club tour point after finishing Royal Navy basic training back in early 92. Rich says, takes me back to Hatfield Poly 1991, everybody in the student union sitting down. Did that ever get boring, people sitting down to sit down?
No, I mean, it stopped when it got boring. People just stopped. But it was, we had that song out a year and a half before we released it.
Yeah.
And people started sitting down to a song they'd never heard before. Yeah. And it would ripple through the audience. And it was like, what's going on? Wow. Before it came out.
Colette in Middlesbrough says, James sounding amazing as always. Saw them 37 years ago in Middlesbrough as a student. I mean, that's the thing. You say you've been together 45 years. This lady saw you 37 years ago. This morning you sounding box fresh. I mean, that's something, isn't it? Have you got any tips to everybody else of how to stay fresh?
Keep your passion.
Keep your passion.
And keep your... I mean, we love what we do.
Yeah, hang around with good people, good vibes.
Good vibes.
Look after yourself.
And be lucky enough to be in an amazing band.
Yeah, the rest of the band, you are belying your years. Graham in Nantwich says, loving James as always. Also want to say thanks to the band for the most intimate and heartfelt gig at the Beanfield Theatre in Montreal last September.
Yeah? Oh yeah, that was great.
Tell us about that.
I think that's the one. Morrissey actually played at that one.
Did he?
Yeah. Didn't talk to him. He doesn't talk to us anymore, I don't think. I think I'm not a vegetarian anymore, and I don't think...
Is that the thing?
That goes down well.
So you're off the list.
I'm off the list.
Okay. Where they played their iconic album late. I can't thank you enough for coming in, Tim. I know you were supposed to come in before Christmas, and you didn't for
Flu. We'd have brought you flu.
Everybody had flu, didn't they? The whole band got flu. But I'm sort of glad, because, we need, we need you today for so many different reasons. Can we hear it once again, please, for Tim Booth, for James? The Super 58 track best of is out now. Our next guest is a Geordie juggernaut of comedy who's been making audiences laugh since... I didn't write this, Ross. I'll start again. Our next guest is a Geordie juggernaut of comedy who's been making audiences laugh since he was 15. His latest talk, Cranium of Curiosities, continues this Sunday. So please welcome the funniest thing to come out of Newcastle since the sausage roll swing at the Greg's in Primark. It's Ross Noble.
Can I just say, Tilly did an incredible intro there. She did a great job.
Yeah.
Because literally seconds before I walked out, she made a massive faux pas, and now she's incredibly embarrassed.
Okay.
She didn't. No, she didn't at all. She was saying there was hardly anyone in the corridor.
Right.
And she went, there's no one around here. There was loads for James, and I went, none taken.
Yeah. None taken whatsoever.
None taken at all. She went, oh God.
But
so
I mean, there's lots of people in James anyway, so they sort of take their own gang with them.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
well,
anyway,
let's hopefully make up for that. All right, okay.
She was great. She's fantastic, and I love her. And she's going to spend the rest of the day going,
Yeah. Okay.
this is great, isn't it?
What do you think?
I love it.
Yeah.
It's really.
Well, you're very welcome, Ross.
yeah.
We can wait to get you sitting there.
You know what? You know what's great about this? Do you know about this? There's this place in, I think it's the Netherlands, where it's an old folks home. And just wait. Do you know about this place?
No, but I like it already.
So there's this old folks home, and it's and then the old
You're
people
getting
come in.
your own back for the intro now, is that what you're doing?
No. But what I'm saying is, you need to keep this right when you when it updates.
Yes.
You got to keep this because this place in the Netherlands, and what they do is they've set it up as a village.
Right.
And when people get the dementia, they've got like bus stops and shops, and they can go around and people play along, and it helps them. So you keep this for your old age. You set it up in your house, and then we can all come round and you can pretend.
Hang on a minute, Ross. What do you think I'm doing?
Oh, is that?
This is it.
Was nobody told him?
Yeah.
Oh God, no.
It's called reminiscence therapy.
Right. Okay.
And we were talking about it last week because Chris Hemsworth has written this. Not written.
Oh yeah.
He's filmed that brilliant.
With
A
his
Road
dad.
Trip to Remember.
Yeah.
And what they do is they go back to where their family home, and the film company have restaged it from photographs to do exactly what.
Right.
You're saying.
Okay.
It's fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah. So this
cool.
is
This is what we're doing.
I mean, it's a bit worrying though, because you're now a super fit guy.
Not worrying for me.
Yeah, but you're off the booze and all the rest of it. You're not worried that you'll just walk in here and you'll flash back to 96 and go. Rah!
No, that's the general idea.
Yeah,
that's the general
You're
idea.
trying to get back
I'm just
into
seeing if it will happen. So far, not really. Talking of Australia, talking of Chris Hemsworth, you infamously, whatever, live in Australia now.
Well, I don't. Well, the thing is, I do, but we're moving back.
Right, because you've done that before.
Yeah.
So now I've written it down. You used to live in Mount Eliza, and I had a look at it. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
And then you move from there to Mornington Peninsula, which is even more beautiful.
Yeah. And now my kids have decided that turns out history and culture is what they want.
It's what they want.
Yeah.
Come back
so we're coming back.
Now.
This is great, by the way.
Can you sign this? In a minute?
Yeah,
This is
like
my
that.
Instagram. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's the.
It does help massively.
Yeah, that's really good.
Mornington Peninsula. So
Yes.
Mount Eliza is sort of in a cove, and Mornington Peninsula is on the coast, isn't it?
So you've got Melbourne, and then there's the peninsula goes right the way down.
Yeah.
And at the bottom of it, there's a place. Have you heard about the fairy penguins?
No, I've seen a thing with the wooden bridge over onto the end of where it's sort of mini mounds and things like that.
Mini mounds?
Mini mounds.
Minnie Mouse?
Yeah.
Minnie Mouse's knockoff. Like, you go to a shop and you just go, did you get me a Minnie Mouse?
Minnie Mouse, yeah.
No, I got you a Minnie Mouse.
Yeah,
Some
exactly.
disappointed kid at
So what did you
Christmas.
get? Yeah.
It's just a piece of dirt
I know.
with ears on.
Sorry.
There's, they're fairy penguins. Oh,
That was
what?
you doing your thing, wasn't it?
What?
That's what you do for a living. What you
What?
just did there.
No, that's what I do when people happen to come and see it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So you just go off and the whole. How did you just do that?
What do you mean? How did I do it? You said Minnie Mouse.
Yeah, but then you got us 30 less than 30 seconds. We're in a souvenir shop selling kids mounds of dirt.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, right? So I'll get back to the penguins in a minute.
And this is also what you do.
This
is what he does on tour.
So
and then by the end of the gig, the audience are begging him to finish the story he started 2 hours ago but forgot about.
Begging to open the doors.
No.
Unlock them.
Sorry.
You know, it's funny actually because before when you were talking about the fishing thing.
Yeah.
For years I've gone, how do you explain what I do? And you go, that's it. It's that. Anyway, so you know when you say an ice cream van, right? Stick with it.
You currently have 5 stories going on.
You're the one that started this.
Yeah.
So no, you know when you say an ice cream van and they have the knockoff Disney. You know, they'll have like a sort of or on the waltzers, you know, where they paint the stuff.
A suggestion of.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And all I'm saying is that we could corner the market with rubber mounds because it's never been.
No, I got it. I got it first time.
Yeah.
Cool.
Excellent. The trouble is, though, you have a mini mound, people are going to want a big mound.
Yeah, of course, it's always the
And
way.
that's the trouble.
Super size.
But that's the way we go to the Welsh tourist board and we sell the mountains as massive mounds. rounds.
Okay.
And then that way,
Yeah.
kids aren't interested in exercise, but you go, would you like to climb a massive mountain?
Exactly.
There we go.
Now, where were we?
So, Mornington Peninsula.
This is the best ad ever for your tour, because this is what you do. Cranium of Curiosities is what we're selling. Cranium of Curiosities, rossnoble.com. We'll go back to the peninsula in a bit, right? You've got me doing what you're doing now.
Yeah.
The way you put together your tours, you said about this tour, it says here, what the show will be is anybody's guess, but that's all part of the fun. When you look inside his Cranium of Curiosities, the roar of the crowd and the call of the motorway services sausage roll department will get us on. It'll all be fine. Yeah. And you have also said in the past that your tour material at most is like 4 words on a scrap piece of paper.
Yeah.
But you do have some set topics sometimes.
Well, what I'll do is I'll go on, and then something will occur to me, or there'll be something happening in the daytime, and I'll go, I'll talk about that. And then I forget, and then while I'm on there, fish, seeing who's in, and then I'll come up with an idea, and I'll follow that and see where it goes.
Right.
And then afterwards, I'll come off and I'll turn to my tour manager and go, what was that thing that was about the thing? And then we can never remember.
Right.
And some people go, why don't you record it? And then you go, because that spoils it. And then I'll sort of you go, well, it was sort of that thing. And then the next night, it's that thing, you go, well, that sort of, and then you just kind of, you're just sort of seeing seeing where it goes.
I love it.
But also, I just get very bored.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, no, easily distracted.
Yeah.
I know that's hard to believe.
No,
But no, I get distracted, so it's that thing of like, I'll have a thing that'll happen to me. I go, oh, that's a good story.
Yeah.
And I tell it, and then halfway through, I go off on one, and sometimes, I've had it before where I'll be in a town centre, I'll be just, you have me breakfast, I'll go out for a walk or whatever, and people will come up to me and go, I was at the show last night, you started talking about this thing and you never finished. So I've actually finished stories in the street.
Finished gigs.
Just literally going, and then this thing happened, and then...
I'll be finishing tonight's gig tomorrow in the high street.
Yeah, exactly.
That kind of thing.
But the penguins, you've got to go and see the Mornington Peninsula fairy penguins.
Yeah.
They're the size of a milk bottle, and you sit on the beach, and the waves crash on the beach, and just a tiny little penguin about that big, just that big. That's like that, and they come up on there.
So that's the size. That's the actual size.
That's a penguin measuring device.
As a penguin.
The like when it says you must be this high to ride. They have one of these, and if the penguins are that size, and then
must be this high to be a penguin.
Exactly, and they're tiny little penguins, and then 3 or 4 will come, and then the next wave, like hundreds of these tiny penguins, and they walk up the beach, and then you can see them go into their burrows and stuff.
And there are beach huts there.
Yeah.
They're sort of like we have, but bigger and more colourful.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Not for the penguins.
No.
They'd be big penguins.
Yeah. Did you enjoy a beach? Did you have a beach hut? Do you have a beach hut?
I don't have a beach
hut.
hut.
You got to get a beach hut, haven't you?
Yeah, seaside shed.
Come on, man.
Yeah. Well, no, not anymore, because like I say, we're moving back. So, yeah.
Okay, and that part of the tour is people heckle you, and you encourage it because it makes up, it helps you out. Do people know to heckle you usefully?
You know what? You say heckling, I'll talk to people and we'll have a conversation.
Right, so it's different.
Yeah, so it's not sort of... But you know what's happened? There's a sort, which is a bit of a shame, is there's this sort of like culture of roasting, There's these, and there's a lot of it on sort of Instagram and stuff. People kind of go, you, and then, and I hate all that.
Yeah.
And what's happened is some audiences, they're fine when they come to me, but some audiences, they sat there and they're really terrified because they're just thinking, oh my God, what if he's mean?
Yeah.
And I have no interest. No interest in doing that. I want to meet people. I want them to, I want them to be. It's got to be. The whole thing has got to be about that night. You know what I mean? That's where it lives.
Yeah, and everybody gets built up, and everybody goes away constructed as opposed to destructed.
Exactly, you're part of something. And especially now, like the fact that so many people disconnected, and it's all, people are in their own little sort of echo chambers online.
Yeah.
And, and it's
live.
Just to be...
But that's why live's gone massive, hasn't it?
Yeah.
James is smashing it again. Well, they've always smashed it.
Yeah.
How long do you like that band for? Because didn't you do a tour yourself called the Sit Down Tour?
Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah.
I thought you did.
I just went...
And the team looked at me as if I'd gone mad, which obviously...
Yeah.
Understandable.
That was a thing...
What was your sit-down tour?
Well, that was... I did this thing where I travelled around Britain on a motorbike just taking, when Twitter first started, before it was a cesspool, you know, it was like, no, but it's just that, I was thinking of it, so we did this thing where...
very concise way of summing
No, but
it up.
it is, isn't it? It's that thing of like, so we would take tweets, I would just tweet out, and I would say, it wasn't stand-up to, I'd just say, where are you, what you doing? And I used to just turn up at people's houses, and we ended up meeting Bob Carroll G's and Spit the Dog in a candle shop in Chester. And I did that, and we put it online, we called it the Sit-Down Tour, and then... Dave saw it online, and then we made it into a TV show, like a proper TV show. And I was thinking about it the other day, and you go, imagine, one, if you pitch that idea as a TV show now, and two, what would it be like? Like back then, Twitter was just like, hey, I'm doing this, and come and I've got a bag of custard. What
Come
do you
here, we're
want
going
do?
to kill you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You just travel around the country, just basically.
Could you do that in Australia?
No, you couldn't, because somebody would go, hey, I'm in Perth and I want to do this, and you go, oh, that's going to take us 5 days to get
12,000 miles away.
Unless you had you could probably do it in a helicopter.
Did you auction that motorbike off from that show?
Yes, I did.
Charity.
Yeah.
That was lovely.
It was the 500th. It was the 500th triumph. Off the production line.
Beautiful.
So after we did that, we auctioned it off. And
Nice
it was,
sounds. Nice sounds. So motorbike still featuring, cars still featuring. Are you still juggling? Because we have two.
I mean, they're very.
No, they're too heavy.
They're very heavy.
Tell everyone.
I could probably get.
He's still got it, hasn't he? You can tell the way.
Just
Why did you giggle when I said? I know why, but why did you giggle when I said, "Are you still juggling?"
Just because it's weird that, like, I try and keep my juggling a
Look at that! All right. Okay.
Oh, he juggles with a Ferrari. I used to. When I was a kid, I was obsessed with juggling, and that's how I got into stand-up. I used to do street shows when I was a kid.
remember that.
And it was Tilly's nodding.
Yeah. Tilly's back. All right.
There we go. There we go.
There you go. That's not a problem.
You can do that.
Oh! Never leaves you, does it? Wow! Great.
Yeah, so,
That is so cool, isn't it?
Well,
That's
no.
not a mic drop, that's an apple drop. That is so cool.
I do apologise.
No, you're very welcome. We'll clean it up later.
Haven't juggled in years.
But and this was all part of you getting on stage, and you know, and this whole dyslexia diagnosis that you got, which you didn't know at the time, may have been the best thing that ever happened to you.
Quite possibly.
You were diagnosed early, and you got on stage, and just tell us a bit about that.
Yeah. So I was 11, and I used to put my hand up. So they never noticed that I never wrote anything down, and so they went, oh, he's probably not thick, and then they found out, and that was that point that I just went. They kept going, oh, you got to do your exams. You've got to do your exams, because if you don't get those exams, you're not going to get a good job. Turns out that's not true.
No, it's done all right, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. So if there's any kids watching this, don't study.
It's not learning difficulties. It's learning differences, isn't it? That's the thing.
But you just sort of, I went off and did that, and then I was juggling, and then I won tickets to see a comedy show, and I was watching it. I just went, you can just talk. Because it was that thing of the very thing I was getting in trouble for, as you can tell. Yeah. It could have been considered.
You are so funny. I mean, this is who you are, isn't it, all the time? Because other people have to switch it on and they have to write sets and that, but you sort of don't.
But the problem is, though,
you still work really hard. I know you work really hard.
But if I didn't have an audience, I would be that bloke outside a station, just shouting at people, just passers by. In fact, you say about the juggling, like I hadn't juggled in years, and then my youngest daughter. She just literally one day I saw her, she was mucking about with the. And I just went. I said, "Do you know I can show you to?" And she went, "Can you?" And then I was like, "Right, okay." And then the next thing you know, I'm online. I'd ordered clubs. I'd ordered. And I was going, we're back.
That must have been a moment though when you could actually. That's like saying, I was in the Beatles. Actually, I've just never told you that kind of thing.
It's not quite that.
No, I know, but I mean, in my head, it's like, one day, that must have been. What was her reaction? Was it like, wow?
Well, she'd seen me like throwing stuff around.
Right, okay.
But the fact that I went, you just do that, and then you do that. And
do all jugglers also unicycle? Is that a thing?
Ooh, that's a good...
Do you unicycle?
I do.
See, I'm sure you have. It's like the yin and yang.
Yeah, but I think what happens is
I didn't know you unicycle.
Did you not?
No.
You know, I used to unicycle to school.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I knew that.
Yeah. Oh no, that's one of those things where, like, if anybody who went to school with me has ever asked about me, they always just unicycle to school.
Unicycle kid.
And you know what? It's one of those things where growing up in the northeast, unicycling to school, it does somewhat paint a target on your back. You know that thing if you just sort of go, kids are trying to fit in, and I just didn't care.
That's Ross.
In fact,
yeah, he's not studying.
Yeah, he's not going to A levels.
No,
but we got some.
Do you juggle first or do you unicycle first?
Juggle first.
Yeah,
when
that's the way it goes.
Well, for me, I started off with... Do you remember you used to have those plastic things that you poured the liquid detergent in, and you'd put them in the
balls.
So I started with those, moved on to tennis balls, and then I would go and do the street shows.
Yeah.
And back then, people had cash, so you'd put the bucket out, and you'd make like 100 quid.
And they'd love it.
And then I used that to buy the unicycle.
Yeah.
But we wanted, me and my mate, we wanted, you know, the giraffe unicycles, the big tall ones.
Yes.
They've got the chain.
Is that what they call
right? Giraffe unicycle,
Wow.
yeah.
Didn't know.
And we really wanted to get one of those, but they were proper expensive.
Yeah.
So his dad worked at the shipyards, right? So what we did was we got an old grifter, a rally grifter,
Wow.
and we got him to modify the bottom and the frame.
Yeah.
And he literally welded from a rally grifter.
Okay. How dangerous was it?
It was the most dangerous thing on the planet. It was, imagine, like, the heaviest scaffolding post, because the thing about the giraffe unicycles, they're quite light, and they're meant to be for...
Grifters were not the lightest
they
bike in the
were
world.
heavy, and it had like a triangle thing at the bottom, and it was industrially welded, and the seat didn't have the proper seat on it. But it was great.
Yeah.
It was like...
Look,
it was just...
it looked like
not?
a unicycle. It could have killed you, but it didn't, and you're here today.
Exactly.
Ross
Thanks to British engineering.
Yeah, come on.
At its best. Yes.
Can you do me a favour before you go?
Oh, God, what?
Can you tell the story about the coolest thing anybody ever said to you about Aberdeen? Do you remember?
Oh, what, with the... With the thing? Yes, so I did a show... Like now, it's just a thing, you know how they broadcast into cinemas, you know, they do like, and when it first started, they had done Formula One, and I think they'd maybe done like U2 maybe, and they were they obviously went, we need somebody who's prepared to risk his career looking like an idiot. So I did a show at Liverpool Empire, which was then beamed live into all of the cinemas around Britain. So, you know, so did that. And then, so I'm on stage, so it was live, and it was proper exciting because I even got, because I had the cameras, I said, if anybody's in a cinema anywhere in the country, and I got a guy's phone, I went, ring this number. So there was people ringing in, like, we're in Brighton. Like, hey! It was brilliant. And then I walk off stage, and it's the coolest thing that's ever happened to me in my entire career. I walk straight off stage, I go out the back door, and we got this massive, like all the broadcast trucks out the back, and I walk in, there's a full control room. You could do it on Zoom now, but like I walked in, and I just went, did it work? And he went, it did work, but we lost Aberdeen.
All right. Since then, Aberdeen has been found.
Yes, exactly.
Ross, thanks for coming in, man.
Always a pleasure.
Talk to you forever, literally forever, and you could talk forever anyway.
Well,
That'd be great. It's what you do for a living. You do it so well. Tickets available now via rossnoble.com for this brand new Cranium of Curiosity tour, which is ongoing, isn't it? So
yes.
You're rocking already. Continues this Sunday in Norwich and concludes on Sunday, 22nd of March in Bristol. Loads of dates available. There they all are. If you're watching this, just press pause now. And you got it. All right, let's hear it for Ross Noble. Yeah! Right, here comes the intro. This is written by Tilly, and I've stolen it from her. Tilly, this is gold standard work here. Right. Our next guests are a pair of broccoli bros who I love from my head tomatoes. So good, that, isn't it? Tilly, that's too good, man. They'll be bringing their brilliance to Carfest 2026, and you can get your tickets now. So please welcome a duo with plant-powered flair. It's David and Stephen Flynn, the Happy Pair!
head there, Dave.
Oh my gosh. You've got Dave and
Tomato head.
Steve and Dave Tomato Head. How are you, boys?
Actually, we're rocking it.
Oh my gosh.
Delighted
you
to
are
be here. Great, I love this table. It's
yeah, and
beautiful.
people can see you live. We're live.
Hi, everybody.
Live for the first time.
Happy Thursday. Great
If you just nudge your chair out a bit and you bring yours in a bit, that helps us with
Now
the
we're
telly.
good. Oh, there we go.
A little bit further out. Just for that shot there. That's so cool.
Hello.
This one's Steve and this one's Dave, and we're mirror twins.
Yeah, they're mirror twins. I can actually tell the difference, can't I? I'm pretty good at it. Yeah. No, I can 100%. Yeah, and I've got a secret of how I do it. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I have got a secret. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll have to hear it after.
I am never telling you.
Okay. Ever. One's better looking and one's got nice.
I am not saying a word. I'm taking the
That's wise. All right.
The team have put together a great cheat sheet for me, as they always do, and on it something really made me giggle today with a happy pair. It says here they're in their 22nd years, the happy pair. Clearly, you've been together for longer than that.
Yes.
We were womb mates.
You were womb mates.
That's awful.
How old are you now, if you don't mind me asking?
46. Yeah.
46. So the happy
How old
pair.
are you?
I'm nearly 60.
Wow.
Yeah,
You look better. I was reading this morning, and they say your happiest years are between 50 and 70.
Right, I think you say
anything after 50
and 59.
No. 50 to 70, they say, is typically your happiest years.
So you started this when you were 24 then? I've
24.
Just done some fag packet maths here.
Yeah.
All
Very
right.
good. Yeah.
Okay, so how did it happen? Because we've never done your origin story. How
Okay.
did the happy pair actually happen?
Origin story. So we were serious athletes. We were playing semi-pro rugby.
Were you though?
Yes.
Have you ever been serious anything?
Well, serious as we can be.
No, I know, professionally.
And we were pints, swilling, burger drinking like jocks, those kind of things. And then age 21, we went away on the quintessential Jack Kerouac journey
of self-discovery.
Yes.
How come you did that? What drove you to do that?
I think it was more looking for more meaning for life. Looking
Yeah.
like surely there's more than money makes you happy and these typical paradigms that you were taught.
But how come at 24, whilst in the thick of being really quite successful sports people, why did that come to you? That thought?
Because I was sitting down one creative set, and I was sitting at the kitchen table, and I said, Dave, I'm going away travelling. I'm going on my own, one-way ticket, and you're not coming with me. This is a breakup moment. And you said to me, I'm not coming back till I'm happy. So we both went away on this journey separately. Like, I went after him, obviously, because I felt a bit sad that he was going away without me.
Right.
And we both went away for 2 years, wandering around the world, seeing what lit us up. Like, what else has life got
And
on
what
offer?
about the sport? You were happy to leave that behind?
I think like at that time I was going to be a golfer. I was in South Africa. I played off scratch, and I was over there practicing away. And then after about 2 months, I was like, there's more to life than hitting a white ball in the hole for me.
Right. And
there's more meaning for it.
I found my way to Canada and to North America. Went tree planting for 3 months. Used to get a helicopter to work. Went sleeping rough. Went hitchhiking. Went staying in meditation.
You planted 100,000 trees, which was cool.
Wow.
That was good.
Yeah.
But sports-wise, what were you doing before that?
I was the same. It was like semi-pro rugby, but I studied business, and business you were kind of sold the idea if you make loads of money, you're going to be happy, and I felt like that's great, but like for me, I think there's more. So I wanted to go experiment with the extremes of life.
And so were you 22? So you were 22 when you sort of started that, and 2 years away.
2 years away, and we gave up alcohol for a couple of weeks.
Right.
And that ended up being a couple of months, and that's been 25 years
and
now.
you've never touched a drop since?
No, like I've held champagne and had a little sip every here and there, but I've never drank since then. And it's not to say that drinking is bad, but for us, we're extreme. We're all in, all out type people. And we kind of, over those 2 year journey, we got very interested in health.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of, like through our travels, kind of started realizing that food is at the core of so much of life.
Yeah.
And most of us take it for granted. We just eat what our parents eat, what society says we could eat. And then we started spending time on farms. And I remember in Costa Rica living right by the Lago Atitlan, which there was all sorts of mango kind of forests around there. There was avocado trees. And I remember there was this old lady. She was like 85 and she was as sprightly as I was. She had so much energy and vitality, and she grew her own food. And it was just such a metaphor for me of the importance of food and the quality of food. And that Steve called me up one day, 2003, and he says, Dave, do you want to start a health food revolution? And all I heard was the word revolution.
Yeah, I like it.
And I'd been reading Che Guevara's book about, the Cuban Revolution.
There are all kinds of revolutions.
So I heard revolution, I was like, yes, Steve, we're gonna storm the parliament. We're gonna finally stand up power to the people. Yes.
You went, no, not that. This.
And then he said, Dave, do you want to start a vegetable shop?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, sure.
Okay. So revolution's got to start somewhere.
It's got to start somewhere. And we started with a vegetable shop in 2004 in our home little town. And people thought we were nut jobs. They thought, oh my God, those lads, like they were great athletes, the Flynn twins, they're lovely lads. And now they've got long hair and they don't eat meat and they don't drink alcohol. They must be selling drugs out the back of that shop as well.
Something. This can't be what they're saying.
And obviously we weren't, but it was very much like for us, like we called it the Happy Pear because there was two of us and we were selling pears, obviously.
Yeah.
But the name that I wanted to call it was Flinner's Fruit and Veg for Social Change.
Yeah, too much for the T-shirt.
Yeah. It was all about the merch. It was all about the merch.
Oh, yeah, we brought you a jumper. Yeah.
We've upgraded a jumper this time.
Their merch, right? I love their merch. I love the colours you always choose. You always choose sort of pastel colours.
Your type colours.
Yeah, and but also I don't know where
That's
you get
organic cotton.
I know, and it's so nice.
I like the Carfest ones last year where you did a great job. Hats off
why
to
do you think we did that?
I love the peach one. The peach one I still wear.
Because we learn from the best guys. And then you got a small holding, 4 acres.
Farm, 4 acre organic regenerative farm.
So did that come up for sale? Were you looking for that, or what?
It was something we always wanted. I guess working in the food system, you realise how amazing it is. It provides food from all over the world. We're going to eat some mango this morning from not England.
Love mango.
But like, I think when you connect to your food and you connect to the soil and you connect to the community of bacteria in the soil as well as the community around you, there's something healing about it.
Yeah, 100%.
And we're trying to grow the most nutrient-dense food possible, which is exciting.
And the thing about, food as fuel, when I first heard that, I thought, no, because food's really celebratory. You just don't want it as fuel. If you have it as fuel, it's binary, and, it's not the way to do it. Food is more than fuel. But now, I completely...
That was probably back in your party days.
Yeah, but also now I'm like, no, food is fuel, and I want the best fuel, and therefore I get the best food, and then I like the food anyway, and we celebrate it in a completely different way. It's far more respectful to the food, and it's just as much fun. And I can the smell coming off this table. And normally to make something smell, you've either got to chop it so it explodes or heat it up. But this is the smell is unbelievable.
Okay, ready to play? Can we play? Do you take a minute before you eat? Do you take a couple you probably not good for the radio. But. Okay, not good for the radio. But I know when I cook the dinner, I do my best to sit down and take a number of deep breaths and calm down and think about where the food came from, all the people involved, before I sit and eat it. Yeah. I think that's really how we eat is as important as what we eat.
Very important, and I don't, I'm a big fan of doing one thing at a time. And so if you want
hard for someone like you with such big energy, because I can relate to that.
Well, of course you can relate to it, times 2,000. But the thing is, even if you eat something and do something else innocently, like maybe read a book or check your messages or watch a football match, it still takes away from the food and the football match. Yeah. So I just try and get these windows where if I'm eating, I am just eating, and I'm eating slow, and I'm loving it, and I'm paying attention and respect to everything that's gone on. And also, I'm harahachi. You know harahachi?
No, nice.
So harahachi is Japanese. So Japanese harahachi. So you say harahachi before every meal to remind you to stop when you feel 80% full. Beautiful. So you never get totally full. You never suffer your meal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes
you don't need a nap after.
You don't need a nap afterwards. And also, sometimes you eat too quickly and you're eating too much without giving yourself the chance to feel full. And a harahachi gives you that chance.
I like that one.
Because you harahachi, right? And then if you leave it 10 minutes and you're still hungry, go back again. But you can't uneat what you've eaten.
Yeah.
But when you're making a sauce, you can't take away, but you can always add.
I like that.
Etc.
Okay, I got a good one. I got a good one. Okay, so... Okay, we're all mammals here. We're sitting around a table here. We're up in a tower. It's amazing. Okay. Number one factor with why we get pleasure from food.
Yes.
So there's two. So I'll give you the first one and see if you can get the second one. Okay. First one is calorific density. The more calories in food, the more pleasure you're going to get. Like if I was to offer you, as an animal, you're a wise man, but if I was to offer you some chocolate or a pear, what would most people pick?
Oh, chocolate.
Because it has more calories. Yeah. So it has probably 10 times more calories. And that's how we evolved. So that's our evolutionary
Okay. So by the way,
biology.
Given the choice, I would have them together.
Oh,
and we don't get a little fruit and nut
I
guy.
like that. Okay, and the second one, can you get the second one? Begins with H, ends in Y. And it's not happy. Horny. It's not horny.
It's not.
Oh, why okay, sorry.
You're the happy pair.
Okay, sorry.
No, just behave.
Okay, sorry, didn't even...
Okay,
anyway.
humanity, honesty.
H-U.
Oh, H-U.
And it's something to do with food. I'm very...
hungry.
Yes! So it's hunger.
By the way, I can't tell you how hungry I am right now.
Yeah, so hunger. If you want to eat healthier, for anyone listening who kind of goes, I find it hard to eat that healthy stuff. I don't like it. I just want to eat my croissants. I want to eat all this type of things. If you experience hunger, you're going to find pleasure in much more simple foods.
Yeah, and also
we seldom feel hungry in modern day society. Well, on that I was reading this morning, and there's a fourth meal now in the UK. The 24% of calories in the UK comes from snacking. So there's 4 meals a day
crazy.
typically. So
It's so
snacking.
crazy.
And snacking is so important.
Yeah.
So we want to talk to you today. Fibre February. February, people are typically down and they're going, oh my God, when is winter going to end? But literally on the topic which we've been talking about, food is medicine. Your body is literally built on what you eat.
Right, if you're not watching this, you're missing out.
Yeah.
Okay, because
The passion.
energy on the video.
I'm
You need to
feeling it
check
now.
these two out. First of all, you need to check if they're twins. All right,
yeah,
because
yeah.
it's true, and you'll be able to see. At,
And you got to vote which one's better. Which one? No.
Via the Virgin Radio app, watch this now. Press watch live and watch these guys and watch what they're doing. You talk about hunger, right? If you do wait until you're hungry, you'll be surprised how long it takes nowadays to feel hungry. You know, I'll eat today, but I don't eat before midday every day.
Wow.
And I'm never hungry. And even sometimes when I get home at midday, I'm still not hungry. I mean, I'll start to have my smoothie, I'll start to have my granola, start to have some pretty good granola.
There you go.
Yeah, keep it coming. These are my granola push dealers. You're my granola dealers. But it's amazing. And if you wait till you're hungry, till you're properly hungry, you'll be amazed. You won't believe how alert you are. Because the hungrier you get, the lighter you get, and you just can do more. You can do more
You're
work.
more
It's so
present.
weird.
You're more
and,
present
and you
and
have more
less-
energy. It's so
Well, they say
so interesting.
30% of our energy goes in digestion. So literally exactly what you're saying.
It's like a car with an automatic gearbox.
Yeah.
So a car with an automatic gearbox, you lose 20% of the power of the engine through the gearbox. That's why automatic gearboxes, cars are slower than manual cars. And it's the same when we're clogging up the system, man.
Well, yet most cars are automatic now.
Well, they're not really.
Okay.
I haven't checked.
Okay, sorry.
I don't think most cars are automatic.
Well, in new cars in the US, like it's hard to get a manual car.
Yeah, well,
and that's kind of
a lot
spreading
there are
a
a lot
bit.
of EVs which aren't automatic or manual.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Chris knows cars. You know cars better than me.
Well, not as well as I thought I
talking.
did, clearly. But anyway, so Fibre Feb, we're doing Fibre Feb.
Okay, Fibre Feb, super important.
Okay,
Like-
but you're also doing something else which is really important. You're doing the Happy Heart Challenge.
Happy Heart Challenge. Okay, and this started years ago. So we started a vegetable shop to help people to be happier and
Yes,
healthier.
yes.
And after like 5 years, we realised there's not much of a revolution going on here, Steve. We need to up our ante.
Yep.
So we were doing cooking classes, and people weren't really changing. So we said, okay, we need to come up with a measurement. People love Weight Watchers because they can measure the
Put a
improvements
number
in
on
their
it.
weight.
Put a
So
number on
we
it.
said, okay, heart health. Let's get a nurse. We called down to the local doctor. We got a nurse, Angela. We put up signs. It was 2012, so there was no social media. So we literally created posters and put them on lampposts. Wow. And we said, reverse heart disease, skinny, sexy, delicious, free. And we had 20 people sign up. And they came along to the Happy Pear, our vegetable shop, and Angela, the nurse, took people's cholesterol, weight and blood pressure, starting measurements. They came upstairs to us once a week for 4 weeks, and it was a cooking course. It was teaching them how to eat porridge for breakfast, vegetable soups, pad thais.
They'd start like this.
Yeah, of course they
then
did.
they try. It was like a food tasting. They try those lentil things. They go, "That's all right. What is that?
That's not
Yeah,
bad.
yeah. Well, they
That's not
take a
bad.
step closer.
Yeah,
don't they?
yeah.
And it was
They become a
food.
little bit more relaxed.
We lured them in with food. And anyway,
yeah.
they came once a week for 4 weeks, and it was pretty much like vegetable AA,
yeah.
where we'd be, "Come on, you can eat the vegetables, you can eat the vegetables." And it was cutting out processed foods and trying to focus on like what the longest living population
VA, vegetable.
Vegetable-
You've got to do VA, man.
Yeah. And anyway, it came to the last week. 4 weeks later, they were on a plant-predominant diet. We'd starting measurements and finishing measurements. And on the last night, we didn't know it was going to work because this was 14 years ago. And amazingly, they got their cholesterol checked again. There was an average drop of 20%. Blood pressure dropped. Weight dropped. There was even 2 blind people, and they incredibly were able to see again, which is a joke. But that was the start of us realising that food is literally medicine, and in most cases, it can have an incredible effect. And we're starting this Monday our online Happy Heart course, which we partner with a cardiologist, a dietitian, and it's really about getting people to eat more whole foods.
All right, and considering Ireland, the website is happypear.ie. All right, they always do this to me. Happypear.ie, and on Insta, they're at The Happy Pear. Podcast The Happy Pear podcast, available wherever you get your podcast. The Happy Heart Challenge starts on Monday, 9th of Feb. Sign up via thehappypear.ie. Right, what are we doing?
Okay, we're going to taste. So this is some of snacking. So as we said, snacking makes up 24% of calories in the UK.
Harry Hatchie, isn't it?
Oh, Harry Hatchie.
Harry Hatchie.
Harry
Harry
Hatchie.
Hatchie, yeah.
Do we have to make a noise or anything? Just
And if you want.
Harry
Okay,
Hatchie.
yeah, Harry Hatchie. Okay, cool.
Harry Hatchie.
There we go.
Harry Hatchie.
Thank you. Okay.
Omna.
Okay, do you want to start with? Okay, we all love sweet things, and many people think dates and prunes, these are like foods for constipation.
Yeah.
And many people think they're really high in sugar. They're high in sugar, but they're high in fibre. And vitamin F, we kind of think fibre should be called. Most people in the UK, 9 out of 10 people don't get enough fibre.
Vitamin F because of
Just vitamin fibre.
Yeah, it's National Fart Day today.
It's National Fart Day.
Yeah.
Oh, we're world class at that.
Yeah, to do with the intestines.
Yeah, our kids can veg for it.
Okay, so
we're like Olympus
what have we got going on
here? Let's start sweet. So this is like a healthier Snickers. So we've taken a medjool date. Which
what have we got here? Date?
A medjool date. We literally, this is like...
What's the glue?
The glue is peanut butter. Peanut butter or almond butter with a little bit of dark chocolate and a little drizzle of salt.
It's just lovely and
This is
simple.
decadent and simple. It's really Moorish and it's simple. And like most people, we're so habitual with our food habits that we eat the same things. Yeah, you're going to be chewing that for a while, so I'm going to monologue for a little bit. Okay, most people's food habits are very habitual. We eat the same things each week. And literally, our body, our health, our vitality is so related, so influenced by our food choices. So our message is, it's not about vegan, it's not about vegetarian, but it is about eating more fruit and veg and choosing more choices.
Good passion.
We got 1 minute left. I can speak again now.
Okay.
What are we doing here?
Okay, so pesto. As we said, we have a farm.
They have a pesto laboratory.
We have a pesto laboratory.
Yes,
We make the world's best pesto. You can buy it on Ocado if you want to check it out. We've got 5 varieties. We grow some of the basil on our own farm, so it's super quality. We have a new organic super greens one with kale and spinach we grow on our farm, and it's honestly they're great taste award winners.
You know I love the pesto.
Yeah.
So this is kale and spinach. So this is to help people eat more greens.
And interesting in Ireland, we've got
You can't stop it. It's too good.
and they're gluten-free, gluten-free, dairy-free,
beautiful.
fart-free.
Yeah. No, we don't want fart free.
Okay.
Full of farts.
What was that thing about pushing or not pushing? I heard.
Well, you see, if you hold one in, it's bad for you, really bad for you.
Okay.
And if you push one out, that's also bad for you.
Yeah.
Whereas if one's brewing, open the door, see you later.
So it's just go with the flow.
Our granny always said.
Listen, I'm not medically qualified. I don't really know.
An empty house is better than a bad tenant.
There you go. That's what we want. All right. We got 30 seconds left.
Okay, let's finish with some mango. Right,
Okay.
right now in the UK, we're struggling with sunshine. I think eating a mango is like sunshine. We went and got this for you earlier.
This is for anyone's watching. For anyone watching, I think this is the best.
Jane's for age. Her mouth is salivating, aren't you?
This is the best way to eat a mango. Okay, so this is it.
You're salivating like Jack O'Connell in Sinners.
Have you ever eaten a mango like this?
No, never.
Okay, so this is really fun. So if anyone's watching, tune in. This is fun. This is remembering we are children at our core. And a lot of us are serious adults and we're very responsible.
Yeah, stop
but
it.
this is fun. This is dirty and messy.
Okay.
So literally, you take a mango like a caveman.
Here we go.
You peel it with your teeth.
You peel it with your teeth, and the peel's really good for you, isn't it?
Peel, like a friend Raj, who's from Chandigarh, he'll always eat the skin.
Yeah, I eat kiwis. I eat kiwis whole.
Do you not find them hairy and they get stuck in
a
your
little
tongue?
bit, but I also
It's the best part.
I eat kiwis whole, and I eat tangerines now.
How you get into it now?
Always with the skin.
Okay,
on.
this is it.
Always with the skin on.
Can we get a drum roll for this?
Drum roll. By the way, we can actually get you a drum roll.
Oh, can we?
Because we're that good.
A
Go.
legit one.
Oh my God, that was quick.
Hey,
There we go.
Nobody quicker than Einar.
Well done. Okay,
Many things.
3, 2, 1.
There you go. And have you got the holiday chorus?
Yeah.
There you go. We've got to go.
Right, well, that was good.
I love you.
I love you so much.
I'm sure the team are going to be all over this like a swarm of locusts.
Can we do a vegetables for the win?
Yeah, of course.
Vegetables, vegetables, vegetables. Yay!
I don't know what I meant, but I was happy to join in.